Hey guys, how are you all? Welcome back to my channel. If you enjoy, then please like, share and do comments. As Naruto ran, all he could hear was Iruka agreeing with Mizuki about him being a beast. If he would have waited a few more seconds, he would have heard Iruka saying that Naruto is part of the village hidden in the leaves and he's very proud of Naruto. Naruto began to hate the village with all his heart and soul. They ignored him like he was not there and treated him like he was a disease. Now he wanted to get even with everyone that treated him that way. He could only think of maybe 3 people in the whole village that he actually cared for. The third Hokage, Shikamaru, and Hinata Hyuga. As he ran, he was approached by Mizuki, who finally caught up with him. "Demon Fox, give me the scroll or I will kill you where you stand," said Mizuki as he held his demon shurikens in both hands. Naruto just glared at him and was ready to attack. That scroll contains jutsus that can make even the weakest ninja into the strongest in the village. I will learn all of the moves and I will accompany Orochimaru in his quest for the ultimate jutsus, and together the 5 great nations will bow before our might. As Mizuki yelled at Naruto, "Orochimaru, is he that powerful to help me become strong? Who is he and why do you want to give him this scroll? Where is he and where can I find him? Is he an enemy of the leaf?" As Naruto continued to question Mizuki about Orochimaru person. "Shut up and die, nine-tailed fox." As Mizuki rushed Naruto to destroy him. Shadow Clone Jutsu. As Naruto yelled, about 100 shadow clones surrounded Mizuki and began to attack him ferociously, leaving him in a bloody mess. "How did you perform that jutsu? You're a failure, the last in class, a buffoon." As Mizuki looked up at him, very badly beaten and unable to stand. "Where is Orochimaru? Is he really that powerful? Can he make me strong enough to destroy all of my enemies in the Leaf Village? Tell me now, or what I just did to you will feel like a light rain that came down upon you." As Naruto and his shadow clones began to approach him with a killer instinct in his eyes. "I don't know where he is, but you will have to travel to different parts of the world to find him. He never really stays in one spot for long. You won't make it outside of the Fire Country. They have every available ninja waiting to kill you and take back the scroll. It's something they will enjoy doing to a beast like you, nine-tailed fox." As Mizuki began to smile. "They'll never catch me. When I return to this village, it will burn and all will know it was me who destroyed their precious little village. I'm the disease they made, their own monster that will be their destruction." As Naruto looked at all his clones, and each clone took off in all directions. As Naruto prepared to search for Orochimaru, he prayed that he would help him train to come back and seek retribution on his perpetrators that treated him like a disease. "I will come back so strong even their Hokage will not be able to stand against me, this I swear, believe it." As thoughts of evil raced through his mind. As Naruto started running as fast as he could to get away from the village that scorned his existence the day he was born. Meanwhile, as Iruka lay on the ground bleeding half to death, the Anbu ninjas came and attended to his injuries. "His injuries are serious, we better take him to the hospital so he has a chance to survive," said the Anbu in the wolf mask. "Wait, Naruto is innocent. It's Mizuki who tricked Naruto and told him to steal the scroll. Help Naruto before Mizuki kills him." Naruto might be upset. Mizuki told him about the village rule not to tell him he has the nine-tailed fox sealed inside him. As Iruka passed out from his injuries. As the Anbu ninjas helped Iruka, the others followed the tracks to find Naruto. As they approached, they saw Mizuki laid out from his injuries. "Where is the child? What did you do with the scroll?" As the Anbu shook Mizuki violently to wake him up. As the rest of the Anbu arrived, they quickly interrogated him for the whereabouts of the scrolls. Mizuki just laughed as more ninjas came to help get back their secrets of the village jutsus. As Mizuki just laughed some more, the third Hokage appeared and looked Mizuki straight in the eyes. "Where is Naruto and the scroll? Talk now and we will hold off the treason by the death penalty if we receive the scroll back." "Gone, he has the eyes of a true demon of revenge. Like I told Iruka, he will pour his soul into his training, learning everything from the scroll, and he will release his anger and hatred onto all in the village that despised him for being the nine-tailed fox. This village just doomed itself because of their prejudice against him. You will know destruction of hate by his hands, a demon born in the leaf." As Mizuki laughed at the third Hokage for being too late to do anything. "Third Hokage, we weren't able to track Naruto's movement. It looks like there are about 40 or 50 tracks heading in all directions. We called for the special tracking Anbu to give us a hand. Depending on the time frame, he may have a large head start on us. Tracking him could prove very difficult since we actually don't know exactly where he is heading," said the Anbu ninja as he gave his report to the third Hokage. "Third Hokage, we must give the order to subdue Naruto at all cost or all of our secrets will be exposed and the village will be in danger." As Danzo crept from around a tree, "I will give the order for them to return the scroll and Naruto unharmed. I just hope he hasn't gotten too far." As the third Hokage looked out in the distance hoping Naruto will come back to the Konoha on his own free will. The beast will have his day when he gets older. If he could master the shadow clone jutsu in a matter of hours, just think what he will accomplish in a year's time. Motivation for his revenge on the Hidden Leaf Village will be the only thing he thirsts for. As Mizuki smiled devilishly knowing the village will suffer by Naruto's hand. As Naruto looked at the scroll he wondered if he could actually escape the Konoha ninjas. He had no idea where to go because he'd never been out of the village. The first thing he thought of doing was to keep making shadow clones every half mile until he was able to hit a river or catch a ride with some travelers for cover. As Naruto started to run he got his first big break. He was able to come in contact with some travelers that were heading to the town of Kyo. It was beyond the fire country and he was pretty sure he could hide in one of the towns if he was to keep a low profile. Naruto knew he did not think things out. He had no money and change of clothes. As he lay in the carriage all he could think of was Hinata Hyuga. Although he never really spoke to her, she smiled and let him know that she thought of him as not of a disease but a human being. He thought it funny in all his life the one who blushed when she spoke his name is the one for some reason entered his mind. Although Shikamaru and Choji came across as friends also, he knew that he would have to cut all ties with his former village for he needed the darkness in his heart to achieve his goals. "Hey there's short stuff, we will be heading out of the Konoha and we will be heading to the Sand Village in 5 days. Where would you like to be left off at?" said the full-size lady smiling at Naruto. "The Sand Village sounds good and on the way I can practice all the way there," thought Naruto. "I know I can't ride for free but maybe I can work for my passage if you like? This part of the country holds no more significance for me," said a nervous-sounding Naruto. The large lady's smile is to say it was okay and that he need not worry about it as long as he gets to the Sand Village safe. "Where are your parents?" she asked looking at the young blonde shiver from the cold. "Dead. I have no one so I am going to look for someone named Orochimaru who can help me. I believe that he of all people will give me what I am looking for and at the same time give me purpose in life." As Naruto put his head down hoping she would just walk away from him and leave him alone. As the lady walked away from Naruto he put his head down and began to fall asleep. He knew deep down in his heart he would never ever cry again and that a new Naruto was born on this date. The 9-tailed demon container that will destroy every man, woman and child in the Konohagakure with his hatred and vengeance. As Naruto woke up this morning he knew that this would be the day he would train until he drops. As the large lady and her husband stop on the side of the road to get ready to fix breakfast, she came into the back to check up on Naruto. "Good morning short stuff, do you want some breakfast?" As she smiled at him. "Yes, that would be nice and my name is Mikado Tae Shin." As he looked at the large lady. "My name Arya, you were so tired yesterday I just let you rest so that you could feel better in the morning. My husband Kenji is waiting to talk to you." As she smiled at the blonde boy. As Naruto got up he could see her husband building a fire. He seemed to be cursing because he could not get it to stay lit. As he turned around he looked at Naruto. "Hey boy, you mind telling me what were you doing in the middle of the road at 1 in the morning?" As he said it in a country bumpkin voice. "Are you in trouble or running away? Because if you were start walking right now." As he gave a stern look at Naruto that unnerved him just a bit. "No, I am trying to find someone who is going to help me, that's all. After you drop me off in the village I will leave you and your wife and I can search for him myself." As Kenji looked at the boy he decided a child like him was no threat and that when they get to the Sand Village they can part ways. "I have some kid clothes in the back that you can fit but they're Sand Village clothes if you want to have them," said Kenji as he smiled at the young boy. "Thank you. How long will we be here on the side of the road?" asked Naruto hoping he hid his tracks well. "About 4 or 5 hours. I rode the horses pretty hard and I must give them time to rest properly. You want to go explore, go ahead, but remember where we are." As Kenji started to work back on the fire. As he left Kenji he took the scroll and went far away from the carriage to practice some of the scroll's moves. As he looked at all the moves he swore he put his heart and soul in the teachings of the scroll. As he kept practicing, he felt he was getting nowhere and started to become frustrated. All he was doing was throwing punches and kicks in the air. He needed a sparring partner. Then it came to him: shadow clones. As he formed about 10, he sparred with him, but they knew his every move and it was hard to practice against someone who knew what you were going to do. Wait, if they know what I am going to do, maybe if I show each one the scroll's moves, maybe I can learn from them. As each one practiced the stance from a certain taijutsu stance, each one that made a mistake disappeared and their knowledge corrected the others until it was done right. By the end result, Naruto had the basic stance of the Sarutobi hand-to-hand combat style down pat. Man, if I do this at least 3 times a day, maybe I can have this scroll mastered in a year's time. I will also have to train my body to the fullest, a lot of weight training and chakra control. I might be able to learn my chakra control better through my shadow clones. As Naruto started thinking hard. As he continued to train, he thought nothing about the hunger or the pains in his arms. He was driven by sheer determination to return to the village and destroy it. As we returned to the village, I heard that Naruto ran away from the village and that he injured Iruka-sensei and Mizuki-sensei. Said one of students at the academy. Hell, I don't know why he has still lived in the village anyway. I mean, no one likes him and he failed at being a ninja, maybe that's why he went berserk in the first place. As the other student started laughing while enjoying the vicious rumor that was spreading. You heard that Naruto ran away? Because of his actions, a lot of Junins and Chunin for some reason are looking for him, so we won't get a teacher, they say, for at least 2 months because of that bastard. Said Sakura, looking hurt that she got picked to be on Sasuke's team and would not be able to really put the moves on him until then. Sakura-chan, you really don't believe that about Naruto, do you? I mean, he plays tricks, but he would never ever hurt anyone from this village. Hinata was the only one who knew Naruto's heart and spirit and that hurting someone was against his nature. Get real, Hinata, I know you like Naruto, but he has always been a troublemaker and he will get what he deserves, right, Sasuke? As she looked star-stricken by the Uchiha. I'm with the Hyuga on this one. Naruto doesn't have the skills or the heart to injure 2 Chunin. It's more to it than that, and we will probably never find out the whole truth. As he stopped paying attention to Sakura completely. Can you believe it, Hinata were on the same team as Sasuke Uchiha? It's like a dream come true, isn't it? As she looked at Hinata. I guess, but I would like to find out about Naruto-kun. I consider him my friend and I will try to find out as much as I can to help him come back to the village. He once stood against 4 boys to protect me, I owe him at least that much to help him. As she blushed on seeing how Sakura had this strange look in her eyes. You really like Naruto, I can't believe it. You know he would never been a good ninja, he probably would have died on his first mission. As Sakura started to laugh. No, Naruto would have made a great ninja, he tries hard and he puts his heart and soul into everything when he is motivated. Hinata spoke up in his defense without stuttering once. Oh yeah, that's why he couldn't become a genin. As she turned to look at Sasuke some more. As Sasuke looked at Sakura, he wished that she would act like Hinata and leave him alone and only speak about ninja missions. As an academy teacher walked in, he told all the genin that they would be doing D-ranked missions and training until things get straightened out, and that all would be trained by 2 temporary junins until things become more stable. The whole classroom gave a sigh and headed out the class to practice some more jutsus. As Naruto returned to the carriage, he looked so worn out that Kenji had to help him into carriage part ways. Just what the hell were you doing? It looks like you got the hell beat out of you by a mob of people. Well, anyways, here is your food for you, Mikado. Thank you, I will remember your kindness. As he scarfed down his lunch. Wow, you have some appetite on you, boy. Most grown men could not eat that fast or that much. As he started laughing at Naruto. As they got back on the road, he sat in the back alone molding his chakra until he could control it. As he steady molded his chakra, he started to fall asleep. As he woke up, he was in dark abandoned factory. He swore he heard a howling coming from a steel gate. I sense the real you. I know what you want, give me your hatred and I will give you power beyond your wildest imagination to destroy your enemies. Give me everything evil in your heart and soul and I will give you the power to slay your enemies with a single blow. This I will give you and more if you become one with me, my body of vengeance. Suddenly an enormous claw came and penetrated Naruto's chest as he woke up screaming. Hey kid, you okay? You just scared us and the horses half to death. That must have been one hell of a nightmare. As the country-talking Kenji tried to relax Naruto a bit. Yeah, I suppose so. As he looked as though he had just came from hell itself. Was that a dream, or was that Kyuubi trying to contact me? Whatever it was, I don't want to get in touch with him ever again. As Naruto watched the road, he was too shaken up to go back to sleep, so he just stared at the open road as his destiny waited for him. As Naruto and his traveling friends began to head to the border, he was so excited, only being a day and a half away toward freedom. As Kenji slowed down to take a break for a while, he looked back at Naruto. Well kids, for the last 3 days every time we pull over and rest you'll disappear, so I will see you in about an hour? As he smiled at Naruto. Naruto started to really like the old couple. They seemed to actually care about him. He could only wish that his village treated him as kindly as they did. As Naruto grabbed the scroll, he decided to write down all of the information on paper for his own use. He decided that carrying the scroll around would be too conspicuous and that he needed to stay below everyone's radar. After about an hour, he finished writing everything down and decided burn the scroll. As he left the carriage, he headed out in the desert far away from the carriage. As he approached a little wooded area, he gathered some wood and started a fire when all of a sudden 3 Konoha Chunin and an Enbu ninja surrounded Naruto. "Alright fox bastard, give us the scroll or we take it from you and take you back dead," said the overweight Chunin, who resembled an Akamichi clan member. "Knock him out and get the scroll," yelled the Anbu. Shadow Clone Jutsu. As Naruto formed his hand sign to begin to fight. As the shadow clones attacked, they were no match for the 4 Konoha ninjas. "You are way out of your league here, bastard," as one of the Chunin came from behind and struck him in the back of his neck. As Naruto lay there dazed, he heard all 4 talking about the old couple in the carriage that started a fight with them and they accidentally killed them. Naruto yelled at the top of his lungs. Even out here, the village taken human compassion from him. A couple who treated him like a friend was taken away and returned him to loneliness and despair once again. Why, they did nothing but help me. They gave me shelter. They did not see a monster, only a boy. As Naruto screamed like a wild animal, bound and chained, struggling to get up and fight for his life. "Shut up, we may have been the weapon, but you're the reason they're dead, you little shit," said the overweight Chunin. As Naruto closed his eyes, he was back in that abandoned factory. As Naruto ran to the steel gate, he looked at the fox and the fox looked at him. "Give me the strength to defeat these ninjas, give me the power to overwhelm them. Give it all to me," yelled Naruto as he begged for power. "So you wish to have my power to destroy your enemies? Become one with me and your enemies shall be mine and mine's yours. We will rule over all who try to stop us. We will be one as a true Jinchuriki. Combine with me now, Naruto. Let your destiny be fulfilled and let those cower before our power." As Naruto stood up bound and beaten, he started to feel a surge of power that he never felt. His whole body felt like it was full of electricity, every muscle felt more powerful. Every sense was now supercharged. Naruto with ease snapped the rope that had him bound. As the ninjas looked at Naruto, they could tell something was totally different, that he was letting off a chakra that was making it hard for them to breathe. As one of the Chunin looked at Naruto, he released a swarm of bugs to drain Naruto's chakra. Soon as the bugs touched Naruto, each one fell dead at the touch of his chakra that swirled around him. Naruto with blinding speed punched the bug handler so hard he actually spat up blood. "Do it, Naruto, finish them all off. Leave no one alive or they will come and kill you," yelled the Kyuubi. The Anbu ninja quickly tried a jutsu to stop Naruto. But Naruto moved so fast that before he could finish, Naruto quickly broke his neck with ease. As the other 2 Chunin looked at what happened, they decided to work as a team to defeat Naruto. As they attacked with their kunais, Naruto moved between them with effortlessness as only an experienced ninja could do. He grabbed the overweight ninja by the arm and snapped it without any effort at all. The ninja fell screaming in agony. Naruto kicked the ninja down and quickly snapped the middle of his back with his foot with a tremendous stomp. The other ninja, when seeing this, fled in terror, not wanting to die by the hands of a true demon. Naruto bent down and grabbed the sword off the fallen ninja's back, and in a flash Naruto caught up with the fleeing ninja and sliced both of the ninja's leg off along with his arm. As he screamed in agony, Naruto just stared at him. "Kill him, feel his fear, live off it, breathe from it, cherish it, just don't leave him there, he is the only one left. You have the power of life and death in your hands, let him know the penalty for attacking us is death," howled the Kyuubi with delight in his heart that he hadn't felt in centuries. "No, let him return to his village and let him tell everyone that a true Jinchuriki will return one day and that we will destroy my village, that is true fear." as Naruto's eyes were now the color of red. I feel your hatred and revenge and it exceeds my own. You young Uzumaki are my spirit of vengeance made flesh and I am your pillar of strength in your soul. Two spirits inhabit this one vessel and it's unbreakable. Learn more jutsus so we can rule this ninja world. Find Orochimaru and learn from him. Then find Madara Uchiha and learn from him. Once we learn from Madara we will kill him and Orochimaru. First we must become truly strong and then we will be recognized in their eyes as a weapon that they want to possess. But we will be the weapon of their destruction. As the Kyuubi surged more power into Naruto, making him feel like everything and anything was possible with his help. As Naruto felt the power he could not believe it, this power was in him the whole time waiting to be released. As the power ceased he headed back to the carriage. As he approached the carriage he seen his two friends he rode with dead. This increased Naruto's rage even more. They were innocent, just trying to help out a kid that was stranded. Naruto got them out of the carriage and buried the two friends he made. Naruto quickly got back into the carriage but did not have clue to where to go. Keep straight Uzumaki, you will head straight for the Sanagakure, then we will start there for information on Orochimaru and learn some new skills because our quest for revenge is just beginning. As the Kyuubi talked to Naruto in his head. As Hinata walked home with Sasuke and Sakura, she could not believe it had been 4 days and no one knew where Naruto was. She noticed that many of the adults didn't care and their children almost felt the same. It was like he was a curse brought to the village, but no one would say why they felt that way. Sasuke, do you think that Naruto is a traitor? Although it just rumors, no one will confirm if it's true or not. Said Hinata, waiting for an answer from the prodigy. The rumor about some scroll gone missing? Yeah, I heard it but I don't believe it. How could he of all people sneak into the Hokage's home and steal something so priceless and not get caught? I bet it's just one of Naruto's pranks that he probably played on someone he shouldn't have and he got scared and ran away from the village for a little while till things cooled down, that's all. As Sasuke gave a sneer as to say, don't ask me anything else. Why are you so worried about him? He's parentless, obnoxious and aggravating. If he had parents they would be ashamed of him. As Sakura kept talking negatively about Naruto. Suddenly Sasuke looked at Sakura with disgust. He acts up because of loneliness. That's a hell I wish on no one. Get away from me, you're annoying and troublesome. As Sasuke parted ways from the two girls but totally disgusted with Sakura's rant about Naruto. Sakura stood there hurt and confused. It was bad enough Sasuke said those mean things, but in front of Hinata it was just too humiliating. Sakura-chan, Sasuke really didn't mean those things he said. He is an Uchiha and you have heard about the way they act, so don't take it personally. Hinata smiled at Sakura, hoping to cheer her up just a bit. Sakura started to think about all the times Naruto had almost begged for her attention and she basically was so cruel to him. She started to wonder if that's how he felt when she was cruel to him, how Sasuke was to her. She made up in her mind when he comes back she would change her ways and view toward him. Please Naruto-kun, come back to the village. For some reason I believe you are destined to help the people of the Konoha. Come back safe and sound and will I stay by your side as a true friend. As Hinata said a small prayer to herself, wishing he would just come back to the village. As Naruto approached the Sanagakure he wondered just what type of village it was. Although the clothes were very different, he wondered about the food, the people and music as well. As they approached the halfway mark, he came to a pole that had a wanted list on it. Naruto grabbed the paper and realized it was a drawing of him. He was so thankful that he never wanted to take a picture, or otherwise it would have been posted on the pole instead of this drawing and description of him. Naruto started to panic because it gave great details about his facial markings and his golden hair and blue eyes. There is no way I can get past the guards, my face and hair is a dead giveaway. I have to find another village to go to where the Konoha can't reach me. As Naruto started to think he would be safe nowhere. Don't worry, go to the back of the carriage and pick up the mirror and look at it. Said the Kyuubi as he tried to calm the young boy down. As Naruto looked in the mirror he noticed that his hair started to change and his whisker marks started to disappear. As he stood there looking in the mirror he also noticed his eyes had changed colors also. As the transformation was complete, he was so shocked. He had jet black hair and eyes as dark as the night. Although Naruto was shocked at the change, he wanted to change back the way he looked. He wanted the Konoha to see the true Naruto, not a false one, when he returned. Don't worry, you can always go back to the way you used to look. For now keep up this pseudo and our goals will be complete, said the Kyuubi. As he returned to the front of the carriage, he rode the horses to the front of the gate as he was stopped. They asked him all sorts of questions on where he was going and who he knew in the village. As he answered each question with the help of the Kyuubi, he was finally let through. As he smiled on the success of his charade, he saw someone running to his carriage. "Get out and come with me right now," said the guard with authority. As Naruto walked, he started to feel a sense of dread. As they approached a very skilled-looking ninja, he stared at Naruto. Who the hell is this kid? As the ninja looked at Naruto with great disgust at his side. I think it's the kid the Leaf Village is looking for. As he stood there smiling at the upper ninja for approval for taking his job very seriously. You moron, look at him, he doesn't have one bit of the characteristics that was described. He isn't even using a henge, so tell me, you idiot, do you see facial features of whiskers? Do you see blonde hair and blue eyes? Let the boy through and don't come back with any more of your nonsense, said the skilled-looking ninja. But he rode in alone. I am from the village Bali Ling, the village hidden in the heat. Kenji and Arya are my godparents and they are traveling with my cousins to every village for trade. They wanted me to come here and go to school, but I wanted to travel with them, but they wouldn't hear of it. As Naruto lied through his teeth. I know of them, they have a house on the hill, but they never really stay in the village that long, maybe a week or two. They did the right thing leaving you here to get educated. Welcome to the village and sorry about that dumb ass for holding you up for so long. He's a genin and wants to prove himself, take care. Naruto was glad he paid close attention to Arya and her stories on how her and Kenji travel months at a time. As he rode, he looked and saw the house the ninja pointed out on the hill. It was small, but it was secluded, so Naruto was grateful for that. As they made it to the house, the Kyuubi began to speak. Get to training now. You need strength and skills, you need anger and hatred in your heart to be stronger than what we are now, said the Kyuubi. I'm by myself, I need a sparring partner. You saw what happened with the Konoha ninjas. I had the technique but not the experience to use it. It's like playing shogi, I can read and understand all the strategy in a board game, but if there is an odd move that don't make sense, then I am a lost. Just like with the ninjas, each one had a different set of skills that I never seen. I could not adapt quick enough and you had to step in, said Naruto. Fine, I will be your opponent, make a shadow clone and stand back, said the Kyuubi. As Naruto did what he was told, a dark-looking Naruto appeared and looked at him. As he stared at Naruto, he ran toward him at top speed, knocking Naruto at least 2 feet back. As Naruto looked at the clone, he realized that it was the Kyuubi and that he was helping Naruto spar through a shadow clone. Naruto got up and quickly started to fight back using all of the taijutsu scrolls moves that he learned. As Naruto attacked the clone, it moved with blinding speed and Naruto had a hard time reading its moves. As the shadow clone continued to pour its attack on Naruto, he could feel himself getting overwhelmed by punches and kicks. Concentrate or our revenge will never happen, yelled the clone, sounding like the Kyuubi. As they sparred for about an hour, Naruto laid on the ground badly beaten but in good spirits, realizing that fighting someone strong will only make him stronger. Barely able to stand, Naruto looked at the clone. The clone gave a nod and disappeared. Great training for today, now get the papers that you wrote from the scroll down and study the ninjutsu moves. As Naruto looked at the moves, he saw at least 6 ninjutsu moves that were very complex. Use the shadow clone jutsu and have them practice it. Their knowledge will come back to you so you can learn the moves quicker, said the Kyuubi as he shouted instructions in Naruto's head. So Naruto made 100 clones and each one looked at the papers as it was passed around. As they looked at the list numbered: 1. Shadow Clone Jutsu. 2. Sarutobi Shadow Dance. 3. Exploding Shadow Clone Jutsu. 4. Wind Sword of the Angel Jutsu, Wind Style users only. 5. Light to Dark Step Jutsu, no hand seal required, high amount of chakra and stamina need. 6. Rasengan *** Level 4 Junin Technique, known user and creator Minato Namikaze, the 4th Hokage. Only 2 known user, Jiraiya the Toad Sage and the 4th Hokage. As the shadow clones looked over the paper, they figured the exploding clone jutsu would be better to start with since he had already mastered the shadow clone jutsu. As all the clones practiced the new jutsu, the Kyuubi in Naruto's mind smiled. You young cub will be a truly awesome sight to see. Before you become 18 you will surpass the 4th Hokage. You will bring me the head of Madara Uchiha for trying to enslave me with his eyes 12 years ago in the Konoha. Madara, you will meet my retribution made flesh. As the Kyuubi started to laugh. As Hinata approached her father, she wondered just how to ask about Naruto. Father, can I ask you about Naruto Uzumaki? As she put her head down as if in shame. Why do you want to know about him? He is unimportant at this time. The village have many more concerns than to worry about than his safety. Said Hiyashi as he ruffled through his paperwork. He's in danger? As Hinata threw her head up to meet her father's gaze. As Hiyashi looked into his daughter's eyes, he gave a deep sigh. Not from the village, but it's a dangerous place outside these walls of the Konoha. Naruto will be found and brought back safely. Naruto is important to this village and he must remain here. He's important to the village? How come? Asked a very curious Hinata. Let's just say he has a legacy here. As Hiyashi walked off and ignored the rest of his daughter's questions. As Hinata watched her father walk off, she could not help but to wonder about his last statement, legacy. Did Naruto belong to a clan in the Konoha? Just whom legacy did Naruto belong to? As Hinata left the Hyuga estate, she went to investigate to see if Naruto could be found through any of Iruka's statements. As she approached the hospital, she was shocked to see Iruka badly injured and barely able to stay conscious. Hinata had no idea the injuries he sustained was so bad. As Iruka looked over to his right, he saw Hinata looking so scared. As he motioned for Hinata to come closer, he could tell she had something to say. What is it, Hinata? Don't worry, it's not as bad as it look, will be out before you know it. As Iruka put on a brave front for Hinata. I'm sorry Iruka-sensei, I know you're hurt, but what happened to Naruto-kun? He hasn't returned and there are so many rumors that are spreading like wildfire? Said Hinata as she looked at her sensei. Naruto hasn't returned. It can't be. Did Mizuki kill Naruto? As Iruka started to rise and pull out some of the tubes that were connected to his body. Every single nurse and doctor rushed in to calm him down and put him back to bed. The more they tried putting him back to bed, the more he resisted. Hinata looked in horror at the whole situation. Iruka was badly injured and Naruto may have been killed by Mizuki-sensei? Hinata could hardly believe her ears when Iruka said those horrifying words. As the doctors made her leave, she felt lightheaded about receiving the news. She decided to see if she could dig a little bit deeper to get the whole truth about Naruto's disappearance. She knew she would need help, so she decided to go ask the one person that really didn't like Naruto that much, Sakura Haruno. As a couple of days passed, everyone in the village was talking about how an Anbu and some Chunin ninja died on a mission. The other two that returned came back crippled. One missing an arm and both legs, the other paralyzed from the waist down. The one missing his appendages was now in a psychiatric ward, and the other ninja could not remember anything other than that he was punched maybe by Naruto at a blinding speed. All the Anbu tried to hypnotize him to remember the situation, but to no avail. The more Hinata and Sakura looked for information on Naruto, the less they found, and sometimes nothing at all. It was like everything was being erased about Naruto, and it was being done on the highest level with no mistakes. Sakura was starting to worry now about Naruto. True, he wasn't her favorite, but to be erased like you never existed was cruel. Hinata decided that she would keep searching, and she thought of Shikamaru. He was sort of friend to Naruto, and she heard that he was very smart. Maybe between the three of them, maybe they could bring Naruto back to the Konoha. It had been 4 months since Naruto came to the Sand Village, and his jutsus increased so dramatically the Kyuubi already thought he was far ahead of a Chunin and just a little ways from being a Junin. Naruto, with the help of his shadow clones, were able to speed up the process by at least 15-fold. He mastered all the taijutsu moves but was having problems with 2 ninjutsu moves. The Rasengan and the Wind Sword of the Angel. No matter how he tried, he could not grasp the Rasengan technique. He figured it was just a lost cause because he could only get to the second step. Every day the Kyuubi would train with Naruto by taking the form of a shadow clone and fight Naruto at his full capacity to toughen him up. The Kyuubi noticed that Naruto's body started to get very muscular at the age of 13 and that his determination to destroy the Konoha rivaled his own rage and hate. Naruto had enlisted in the Sand Village Academy by the request of the Kyuubi. It seems the Kyuubi wanted Naruto to learn more techniques and not just from the scroll he stole. Naruto thought it was just a waste of time since he could not stand out and had to be way below average so his skills would not draw attention to himself. Naruto eventually started to like the academy because he was learning a new jutsu from another village that helped increase his potential no matter how small. Many of the students thought Naruto was antisocial because he rarely spoke and he never hung out with anyone at the school. Naruto would come home with schoolwork, go to his part-time job and do jutsu training every day by making at least 50 shadow clones that would help him practice using his jutsu to master it in a week's time that would normally take months or years depending on the level of the technique. Naruto, you need to find another sparring partner. I have taken you as far as I can go. You are the perfect weapon of revenge, but we need victims to see exactly how far you come. We need to ask questions here to see if they have any idea if we can find Orochimaru who can take us to the next level. We need more jutsus to be complete, said the Kyuubi as he was in the body of a clone. Easier said than done. I can't go full strength on the students because it will cause unwanted attention to us. If we go and pick out random victims, some may know how to fight, some may not, and that would start an investigation on the attacks on the villagers. We need strong fighters that can take punishment and be able to kill us with their skills, said Naruto as he conversed with the Kyuubi in his head. Naruto knew the Kyuubi would not let up unless he found someone strong or someone who was on his level. Then Naruto had an idea. Bandits that preyed on weary travelers, no one would miss them, and many bandits were rogue ninjas that fell on hard times. As Naruto told the Kyuubi his plan, he could hear the Kyuubi laughing as to say job well done. As Naruto made plans for his targets, the Kyuubi told Naruto to start reading books such as Modern Warfare, The Art of Espionage and Close-Quarter Combat Scenario to make his mind sharp. Naruto hated reading, but if he did not he would never rest because the Kyuubi would howl at him for not following orders all through the night in his head and nag him all morning until it was done. As Naruto made 2 clones, each one grabbed a book and started reading. As the one clone finished reading the book in 5 hours uninterrupted, he vanished and Naruto gained its knowledge. When the other clone finished, it did the same thing and vanished, leaving Naruto just a little bit wiser. Now Naruto had just finished his book and was dead-beat tired from all of that reading. Naruto, you have one more book to read and then we will make our plans for the bandits, said the Kyuubi. Hey, I read 3 damn books already, I'm tired of reading. Then you want me to read another long boring book and also make preparations for the bandits tonight? Screamed Naruto inside his head at his host. You will like this book, read the title, said the Kyuubi. As Naruto looked at the book, it read, Konoha Bloodline Families, a breakdown of its Fire Country clans. When did I pick this up at the library? This is the book I should have read first, said Naruto as now he was excited to read the book. You really don't have any patience or notice things around you, do you, young cub? I told you to pick up the books as I read the titles and you didn't pay any attention at all. As the Kyuubi raised its voice in Naruto's head. That wasn't a library, it was a mausoleum. As Naruto sat down to read the book. As he finished reading it, he noticed it was almost dark outside. So he started packing up some ninja tools when he heard the Kyuubi speak. Leave your ninja weapons here and just use your jutsus. If you can't take out these vagrants with the skills you learned, then this is far as you were meant to come, said the Kyuubi with anger. Naruto felt uncomfortable about not using his tools, but he felt the Kyuubi was right on both statements. As Naruto headed to the carriage, he quickly mounted the horses and headed for the gate. As he approached the gate, he heard Kimiko the gatekeeper greet him. Hey Mikado, how are you? You're not planning to leave the village tonight, are you? I mean, the desert is a gold mine for thieves, for innocent travelers on the road. Maybe you should wait for tomorrow morning when it's safer, said Kimiko with worry in her voice. I'm not going that far, I'm supposed to meet my relatives halfway and receive some supplies, that's all, I'll be okay, said Naruto with a phony smile and even more false words. Kimiko looked worried, but she still opened the gate for Naruto as he rode away from the village. As he rode the carriage, the Kyuubi kept going over the tactics for eliminating the bandits. As they were on the road, he pulled over for about 2 hours and set up camp. There was no sign of life on the road as he waited patiently for something to happen. Maybe I should walk around on foot to see if I can find these bandits? There hasn't been anyone on this road coming or going. I hope this wasn't a big waste of time. As Naruto started talking out loud. As he started walking further down the road, Naruto saw a campfire a little ways down. Follow that trail to the camp and you will find the bandits down the road. There are 11 of them, hurry before they decide to leave, said the Kyuubi as he felt the negative emotion from the campfire. How can you be sure it could be a bunch of children or travelers on the road? Asked Naruto about how he was so certain they were there. I feel their hatred. Follow the path to the campfire, there you'll put your skills to what you learned to the test. The Kyuubi was excited by the potential massacre his vessel was about to perform. As Naruto walked the path, he walked dead in the center of the camp. He went directly to the fire and warmed his hands over the flame. What the hell? Some kid just walked into the camp like he owns the damn place. Said the muscular-looking ninja with a battle axe. This kid is definitely off his rocker, just kill him and let's get back to more important things. Said the short-looking man with a knife. That's funny, I feel 11 chakra signatures but I only see 10 of you assholes. Oh well, I guess practice is practice, I'll find the other asshole later. As the two of the outlaws stood up, Naruto just shook his head. With his speed he was like a blur. Naruto took both bandits out with a single attack as he grabbed their two knives of the side of his enemy. He quickly got between the two bandits and planted the knives deep into their hearts. As the bodies hit the ground, the outlaws could not believe their eyes. It was as if they had blinked and both men laid stretch out dead on the ground. Suddenly all 8 bandits got up. They figured he was unarmed and that it would be easier to kill him, plus he was just a snot-nosed little kid that probably got lucky because those two were drinking. As Naruto got in his stance to pounce on his prey, he waited patiently like a wolf preying on a lamb. As they rushed him, Naruto quickly evaded the man with a battle axe by sidestepping him and striking him in his Adam's apple so hard he backed up choking. 2 men rushed him at the same time with their swords. Naruto grabbed the outlaw's wrist and spun and kicked his legs from underneath him. He caught the taller swordsman's by the arm and kicked the hilt of the sword so it flew high in the air. Naruto concentrated his chakra into his fist and struck the bigger swordsman so hard by his heart it stopped his heart from beating instantly. Naruto caught the sword on its way down and stabbed the taller swordsman on the ground through the neck with his own sword. As the other 5 bandits rushed Naruto, he quickly pulled out the sword in the man's neck and threw the sword at the closest bandit, cleaving one of the bandit arm off. As they confronted Naruto, he evaded every attack the outlaw threw at him ease. As Naruto struck each bandit's kidney, liver, eyes and heart, they all hit the ground with extreme force and couldn't move because of the well-placed blows on their vital organs. The large man with the battle axe, seeing this, attacked Naruto while he stayed stationary. The large man with the battle axe was so terrified that he did not notice Naruto would move only at the last second every time to avoid the axe on a downward thrust. You really are dumb ass, aren't you? You just killed your own teammates by trying to smash my head in. As Naruto pointed down with his finger as the bandit followed Naruto's finger. The large bandit couldn't believe it. He was so afraid of this killer demon child that he wasn't paying attention to his surroundings. Each and every one of his teammates met death by his battle axe. As the last bandit looked at Naruto, he backed up in fear, ready to run from this small pint-sized demon. The bandit stopped in his tracks and fell down dead from a kunai to the back from a young-looking man with glasses. Ah, the 11th bandit, and he killed his own. No honor among thieves. Well, I guess that just leaves you and me? Naruto was now warmed up for another fight. You truly are an interesting kid with strength I never seen before and movement as fast as the wind itself, but don't think that I'm some common thief. I came to destroy this band of robbers from ever stealing from my master ever again, but you beat me to the punch. Said the young man with the glasses. Talk, talk, talk. This ends now so I can go home, get some sleep as well, something to eat. I'm starving over here, you 4-eye geek. Naruto said it menacingly toward his opponent in front of him. As they clashed, Naruto could not believe it. This young man with the glasses was good. He was better than anyone he ever faced in his life. He could keep up with Naruto's speed easily, and his taijutsu was so astonishing that it made Naruto back up and take time to come up with a battle plan on combating such a strong opponent. As Naruto looked at the young man with glasses made a hand sign and his hands started glowing with chakra. Be careful, cub. This kid is no ordinary bandit. He seems to be methodical as you are, and I believe he is holding back just the same as you are with a trump card of his own, said the Kyuubi as he began to worry about his container's safety. I know, and what's that strange hand jutsu he just made? Naruto began to move more vigilantly against his opponent advances. As the young man rushed Naruto, he struck Naruto across his back and Naruto could feel his entire muscles go limp in his shoulder area. Naruto quickly spun and tried to kick his opponent, but it was met with the hands of that strange glowing jutsu as his foot felt like it went dead. As Naruto hobbled back, he could see his attacker knew that he was in complete control of the situation now. Naruto wished now he had brought some weapons. I must say you truly are impressive individual, but it's time for you to go the netherworld, my young little friend," said the man in the glasses. As he rushed Naruto with his glowing hand, Naruto performed the Sarutobi shadow dance perfectly and was able to evade his attack and break the young man's wrist and ankle by punching and kicking his joint with a surge of chakra from his hand and foot. As the young man backed up from the pain, he looked at Naruto and smiled ear to ear. "My master would have loved to meet you, a perfect weapon, uncaring, ingenious and bold. Orochimaru, it seems my time may draw short against this demon child. I hope I can kill him to make you proud," as he stood up waiting for another attack from his assailant. "Wait, you know Orochimaru? Take me to him, I need to speak with him. He is the only one who can help me become better than I am. He is essential to our plans," said Naruto. "Our plans? Who are you working for, kid? Why should I trust you? You're nothing but cold-hearted killer." The man in the glasses backed up to see just what this boy's objective plan was and why did he need Orochimaru. "I so far only took out the ones who deserve it and the ones who came after me. I haven't killed any innocents, but I will get those who tortured me with loneliness and hatred. I deserve retribution from that abuse I took for years by their hands." Naruto's eyes started to glow red with anger, activating his suppressed anger for revenge. The young man saw this and was just a little startled by that sight. As he looked at the young kid up and down, he figured his master would like to meet this child who was close to mastering the ninja way of destruction at such an early age. "We will meet in 2 weeks' time 3 miles from here by that wall called Serenity. There you will have an audience with Lord Orochimaru. My name is Kabuto, what's yours? When I meet your master I'll tell him personally." Naruto began to limp away from Kabuto and headed back home. The injuries he sustained from Kabuto were not fatal, but it hurt like hell. "Good work, Cub, you faced many strong opponents today with your bare hands and faced an even stronger opponent than you and walked away stronger for it, but you need even more training. When you get home, make more shadow clones than you ever made and increase all of your jutsus because we need to be prepared just in case of a double cross by that glass-wearing freak." As the Kyuubi conveyed his pride into his young cub. "I just finished fighting someone that could have killed me and I'm injured and you want me to go home and practice at 3 in the morning? Cub, this fight should have motivated you even more to become better skilled than him. Be stronger than him so the next time his death will be quick by your hands." Naruto smiled. He was proud of what he accomplished tonight, but he knew that the Kyuubi was right. He didn't care if he had to practice for 64 hours straight. He was going to make sure that his skills weren't going to be rivaled by anyone. As Hinata could not believe her ears, Sakura and Shikamaru wanted her to give up the search for Naruto. "No, I refuse to give up on Naruto. He's my friend and he could be in serious danger." Hinata's tears began to run down her face. "Hinata, I'm not telling you to totally forget about Naruto, but he may be dead. Isn't that what Iruka-sensei believes?" "I mean, you said it yourself. He said that Mizuki had killed Naruto?" said Sakura with no emotion in her tone. "No, I said probably could have. Naruto, if one thing is a survivor and you want me to give up on him?" As she began to cry now. "Listen, Hinata, I know you don't want to hear this, but every time we think we have a lead it ends up being a dead end. I know that someone is deliberately erasing Naruto information, but it could be the council doing Naruto a favor. Everyone in this village seems to have some dislike for Naruto for some unknown reason, but maybe Mizuki did kill Naruto and they are keeping it buried to honor him. That's why Mizuki may be serving a life sentence for being a child murderer. Look at the villagers, no one seems to care except for us. We have to start our genin training now. It will be difficult. Things are just starting to get back to normal after nearly 5 months after Naruto disappeared. The Junin are really going to work us after that delay. They say we may have to wait 2.5 to 3 years to be considered Chunin because of that Naruto incident. All I'm saying is we will look for more evidence after we do our training. I'll even ask Choji to give us a hand." Shikamaru gave a smirk to say, "You can trust me. Yeah, I will have Ino to help also," said Sakura as she hugged her friend. As Hinata could see that she was outnumbered about the situation, she decided that she would make time after her training to keep on searching for her friend. At the Hokage Tower, my retrieval team could not find Naruto Uzumaki. It's like he just vanished off the face of the planet. We first believe he was in the sand village, but we searched there perfectly. We even investigated the case cage to see if he had Naruto a prisoner. My suggestion is to forget about Naruto and focus on making the genin stronger. Naruto is probably, no, Naruto is dead, and we should not waste not another minute searching for a lost cause. Said the Anbu in the dog mask. Am I not the Hokage of this village? It is not your place to tell me to stop searching for Naruto. Your job is to find him at all cost. We have the scroll now, we need him back. Naruto is important to this village and we will bring one of our own home. The third Hokage looked at his Anbu foot soldier with disgust on his answer to Naruto. Forgive me, Lord Hokage, I was out of line. Someone else is also looking for Naruto, Hinata Hyuga, Sakura Haruno and Shikamaru Nara. I have been able to get rid of all evidence about Naruto and store it at the Hokage Black Ops vault, but they are very thorough in their search. I was wondering if I should talk to their parents to make them stop looking. Said the Anbu ninja as he remained on one knee. No, I don't want them to give up hope. They are searching for a friend, and if this give them comfort knowing they are looking for Naruto, who are we to take it away? As the third Hokage looked out the window smiling. He was glad to hear that someone cared and took the time to help look for Naruto. As the Anbu walked out of the office, he never saw the third Hokage so mad before, especially about it concerning Naruto Uzumaki. What's so special about this kid anyways? Hell, most people in this village is ecstatic that the bastard is no longer around. As he approached his squad, they could tell things did not go well. As they leaned up against the wall, they all waited for the bad news. We have to continue the search for the fox kid, simple and plain. The third Hokage wished for us to proceed and look for any leads concerning Naruto Uzumaki. Said the Anbu in the wolf mask as he took a deep breath in. What leads? 2 dead shinobi? 1 crazy ninja and a cripple who can't remember anything past yesterday. He asks for the impossible. The kid is dead, simple and plain. There is no way he could survive this long by himself. Said the Anbu in hawk mask who felt like his comrades. Well, we can start with Hyuga girl. She seems to care for Naruto. Maybe he told her where he would go if he was going to leave the village. We probably can catch her after school to talk to her. The female Anbu in the snake mask pointed to the academy where Hinata attended. As Hinata was walking home, all 4 Anbu ninjas surrounded her. The first thing Hinata thought was they're looking for Naruto and wanted her to stop interfering. Yes, what do you want with me? As she stammered at every word that came out of her mouth. Naruto Uzumaki, if he was to leave the village, do you know where he would go? Said the female Anbu in the snake mask. Is Naruto still alive? Hinata's heart began to race, hoping that her prayers were answered. Answer the question, said the other Anbu. He never said where he would go. This village is his home, he would never leave it willingly. Hinata began to get nervous again. Was Naruto truly alive? Did Naruto ever talk to someone outside the village? Enough of your questions, I want some of my questions answered right now. Hinata couldn't believe it, she actually raised her voice to get information about her friend. Naruto is a survivor, he would not roll over and die easy for no one. Ask Mizuki, he knows everything. In fact, take me to see Mizuki, I could get him to answer where Naruto is at. As she looked uncompromising into their masks. The Anbu did not know what to do and they were completely out of ideas. But taking the heir of the Hyuga clan to a prison is something they would never do. They knew that Hiyashi Hyuga would confront the Hokage. They all knew if Mizuki could resist the Anbu ways of not cooperating, what chance does a little girl have? I think we should take her, we're running out of ideas and time. If Naruto is alive, we cut our chances down dramatically of where to look. We all don't want to search for him the next 20 years, do we? Said the Anbu in the wolf mask. As they told Hinata to follow them, all knew it would be serious consequences for their action, but they had no more ideas to brainstorm on what to do. As Hinata walked through the prison gate, she was led to a room surrounded by 4 other ninjas and the Anbu that came with her. She could tell that they weren't taking any chances with her safety. As Mizuki was led in, she saw the guard whisper something to Mizuki and she wondered what it was. Well, if isn't cute and cuddly Hinata Hyuga, what do I owe the honor for your visit? Said Mizuki as he had a full of yourself attitude. Naruto Uzumaki, was her only reply. You like that beast, don't you? I see the way stared at him when you were in class at the 9. Watch your tongue, Mizuki, or you will really have it hard in here. So far you had it easy, but I can send you to the murderers part of the prison and tell them that you killed a child, they would love to get their hands around your neck. said the guard as he pressed his baton into Mizuki's chest. Fine Naruto, like I said he ran off. I don't know, I don't care and hope he dies of great pain for sticking me in this prison for the rest of my life. Said Mizuki as he balled up his fist and looked at Hinata. Naruto didn't do this to you, you did it to yourself. Naruto did not have the skills to defeat someone like you. You're a Chunin and Naruto is still in the academy, so don't expect me to believe he put you in here. As Hinata yelled more loudly than she thought possible. Naruto used the shadow clone jutsu on me. He actually pulled it off to perfection. That bastard have a demon in him that can. Mizuki received a backhand slap from the guard for trying to talk about the Kyuubi to Hinata. Liar, Naruto can't make any kind of clones properly, that's why he failed at the academy. Yelled Hinata at the top of her lungs. Took me by surprise as well. The kid had it in him the whole time, he just needed the proper motivation to inspire him to become more fruitful with his jutsu. You can forget it, Naruto isn't coming back, and if he does he won't be the same as you remember him. Forget about Naruto and concentrate on better things in life than that bastard, he isn't worth remembering. Mizuki hated Naruto and he hated that someone from a prestigious clan was concerned about him. You're wrong, I remember him. I can't sleep at night because I worry for him. I wonder if he's safe and warm and have enough food to eat. I wonder if he misses the village, does he miss me? Every time I try to picture him, I start to remember how people in this village treated him and I get sad, sadder than I have ever been in my life. I just want him safe, that's all. I want him back in the village where I can see him smile again. Hinata began to cry for Naruto's pain for the way he was treated. The Anbu in the wolf mask felt empathy for Hinata. Here he was not caring if Naruto is alive or not, but he saw a young girl suffering from the heartache over losing Naruto. He decided right here and now that he would give it 200% to bring Naruto back to the Konoha. It was the least he could do for making a young girl hurt so much inside. As Mizuki looked at Hinata, he could not help but to look down in shame. Take me back to my cell now, I have no more to say here. He stood up bound in chains waiting for them to open the door so he could return to his cell. Please give me any information, I'm begging you. As Hinata stood up and was about to approach Mizuki when she was stopped by the Anbu. Mizuki stopped in his tracks after hearing the young girl plea for help. If Naruto was going somewhere he would start by looking for Orochimaru, if he's still alive he would seek him out. I told him about Orochimaru, how powerful he was and that he is the only one who the Leaf Village can't stand against. Naruto wanted to leave the village and get strong. I suspect that he wants to find Orochimaru to make his dream come true. As Mizuki started to head back to his cell, he couldn't figure out why he told Hinata of all people. What Orochimaru? Hurry, we have to report this to the Hokage right away. Someone take Hinata home safely. The Anbu jumped upon hearing that name mentioned by Mizuki. Who is Orochimaru? Why would Naruto seek him out for power? Why is everyone so terrified of that name? Hinata could tell that all the adults knew who he was and were scared just by the name alone. Hinata, you must not repeat what you heard here. You must keep this to yourself. Everyone in this room is sworn to secrecy. Let's go now to the Hokage towers, said the Anbu in the wolf mask as got his team together. As they took Hinata back home they quickly ran to the Hokage to give a report of what was told to them. As the Hokage listened to their report with great alarm of the situation. He felt that if anyone who found about this information would spread it and cause anxiety among the villagers. Make sure that the guards keep quiet and move Mizuki to an isolated area and make sure he doesn't get any visitors until we can figure out these bizarre circumstances of event that's taking place. Said the third Hokage as he lit his pipe and looked out his window. Yes, Lord Hokage. All the Anbu answered at the same time and departed. Naruto, you are in great danger. Whatever you do, don't go looking for Orochimaru, he is the vilest criminal the Leaf Village ever produced. You have your own path to follow and it's not with him. As the third Hokage put his head down in shame as he felt he let Naruto down. As Naruto waited at the Wall of Serenity, he could not wait to meet Orochimaru to learn even more powerful jutsus to become stronger. All he could think about was how everything is going as planned. It had been a long grueling 8 months, but his training paid off extensively. He was now a true ninja in body and spirit, but not on paper. It was close to midnight and Kabuto was nowhere to be seen. Naruto began to get a little antsy for being stuck in one spot for so long. Well, I see that you really wanted to meet Orochimaru that bad. You were here for a whole hour waiting? said Kabuto as he walked out nonchalant into the opening. You kept me waiting and you watch me? What kind of games are you playing and where is Orochimaru, Kabuto? How the hell did you heal so quick from a set of broken bones? I heal fast and not just yet will you meet the master. You have to prove yourself to Orochimaru that you're worthy to meet him. Even though I told him about you and he is interested in your abilities. He wants to know who told you about him and where is your allegiance. He wants to see your skills for himself to make sure that you're not some run-of-the-mill everyday ninja not worthy of his time. He wants you to enter the Steel and Death tournament no holds barred where the only rule is you survive. Kabuto handed a pass to enter the tournament to Naruto. I heard of that but I thought it just a rumor that was spread across the village for something to talk about, just hearsay. They say ninjas lose their lives at this tournament. Naruto just looked at Kabuto and wondered did he really know Orochimaru? It's no hearsay. This is the only way you can talk to Orochimaru. Don't worry about the fee to enter that has been taken care of just show up on time. If you win the money is yours and you meet my master but if you lose you will never seek Orochimaru out again, understand? That wasn't the agreement we made Kabuto, but fine I'll enter this tournament how long do I have to practice before it starts? Said Naruto as his anger began to rise. Well I will say about 19 hours, but I would use about 6 of them to relax. As Kabuto started to walk away from the blonde. What kind of crap is this? What the hell are you trying to pull Kabuto? I swear if this is set up I'll do more than break your wrist and ankle next time. I'll put you in so much pain that you will beg for me to end your life. Said Naruto as he pulled out his kunai. Kabuto didn't care about the threat because he thought this young ninja in front of him was nothing, he was lower than the dirt itself. Anyway you will go by the name Saddler. It's foreign so it will not blow your cover at the sand village Mikado Tae Shen. Kabuto smiled at Naruto threateningly letting him know that it was knowledge and not threats that put fear into the hearts of ninjas. Naruto could not believe it. Kabuto planned it this way for a meeting 2 weeks away so he could get information on him to use at his pleasure. Even though it was a false name if he got that far and knew where he lives he could dig a whole lot deeper, who knows what he would come up with. As Naruto looked at Kabuto walk away, he knew that he would be a big problem down the line. As Naruto started home, he was a little nervous about the tournament. He knew that most were ninjas looking for a big payout and some assassins were looking to become famous. As he went home he went straight to sleep. As Naruto woke up in the morning he knew he couldn't do anything strenuous because he had his work cut out for him in tonight fights. As he did a light practice he started to look around to see if anyone was watching him. Great, now I'm becoming paranoid. As he continued to look around for anything out of the ordinary. He came inside his home. He had a nice light breakfast. As he looked around the house he saw the old couple picture that helped him and paid the price with their life. He actually felt guilty about that but realized it was the ninja's fault. They could have easily disarmed them but they wanted just to kill someone so they used that attack as an excuse. Naruto decided to mold his chakra so it would be honed to perfection. After molding his chakra he went over some basic ninjutsu to help prepare him for the battle of his life. As time flew by, Naruto waited by the wall of serenity for Kabuto to take him to the tournament. As Kabuto approached he smiled at Naruto. Ready, Saddler? Destroy all your opponents and don't get yourself killed, said Kabuto as they walked side by side. Naruto had almost forgotten that was his current alias to use in this tournament. How far do we have to go to get there? Asked Naruto. It's a 10-minute walk, you will be fighting at the abandoned Coliseum downhill from here, said Kabuto as he pointed to the stadium. Wait, won't that bring unwanted attention and the sand ninjas of the village out here? They will try and raid this place and take people prisoner? Said Naruto as he made a sudden stop. You really are gullible little boy, better wise up Mikado. Everybody's hands have been paid, even the officials, and the sand ninjas will not interfere. You keep your mind on the match, that's all you need to worry about. As Kabuto cut his eyes at Naruto. As Naruto entered the stadium he could not believe that there were so many people here to come and see a death match. The matches did not even start yet and the crowd was so loud that he couldn't even hear Kabuto talking to him. Wait, I need a mask. Some of these people could be from the village I live in. If they recognize me my cover is blown. Naruto quickly ducked his head to the ground so no one could see his face. I have you covered already. Take this mask and put it on. This will cover half your face so no one will be able to recognize you. Kabuto handed Naruto a light blue mask with black imprints on it. As Naruto put on the mask, he felt that this would be perfect for him. He could breathe and he could see perfectly. Remember, this is a gauntlet match, so pace yourself well. There is no coming back the next day, and continue where you left off. As Kabuto walked away, as the contestants took their place on the sidelines, all of the combatants looked at Naruto and giggled. He was short, he had on a ridiculously looking mask on, and he was dressed in orange and black. Although muscular, he was no way built like the rest of his opponents. As the tournament began, the first matchup was a man named Graven. He was going up against a woman named Sun. As they bowed to each other, they waited for the referee to say begin. As the official shouted fight, they both rushed each other with blinding speed as each tore into the other with such ferocious intent to kill. Most spectators turned their heads at their violent primal rage. As it looked like Graven was ready to win, Sun quickly did a hand sign that released a barrage of needles that penetrated Graven, leaving him vulnerable to attack. Sun rushed Graven with such a kick to the head you could hear the bone snap in his neck. The whole stadium went crazy from that scene and stood up and cheered her for killing him. Naruto just stood there and looked at the body laid out as some men came to retrieve the combatant. Naruto knew now there were definitely very skilled ninjas as combatants in the tournament. He figured he would not use any ninjutsu until the last round, or if he really needed to. As the combatants dwindled down, Naruto could now tell that it was at least 6 ninjas that maybe were on Chunin levels and 3 very skilled assassins that were no pushover that knew just a little bit ninjutsu. As the announcer called for the name Sadler, Naruto left the bench and walked onto the field. Everyone in the stadium began to laugh hysterically about a child taking part in this tournament. People started to place bets that he would get killed in 3 moves or less. As they called the other combatant Fujisawa to come to the field, the whole stadium got silent. This was last year's runner-up, whom only lost by not being able to continue after 20 minutes of grueling torture by his opponent. "Don't worry, you little shit, I'll make it real quick where you won't feel that much pain when I snap your neck," said Fujisawa with a callous attitude. "Funny, I was going to say the same thing to you, you big piece of shit," said Naruto as he lifted up his middle finger. The rest of the combatants on the bench heard what Naruto said and wonder if he was crazy for pissing off someone like him. Even the people in the front row of the stadium wonder the same thing. As the referee looked at both warriors, he yelled fight. Quickly, Fujisawa rushed Naruto, trying to land a heavy blow to end things. Naruto easily evaded the blow and smacked Fujisawa on the side of the face with an open-handed smack. Fujisawa looked at Naruto and rushed with a kick to Naruto's head. Naruto dodged again and backhand slapped him to the face this time. Fujisawa's anger rose as he pulled out a small sword. As he swung the sword, showing he had a great skill using the blade, Naruto just stood there waiting for him to attack. As he rushed Naruto, he could not understand how Naruto could dodge a blade so close. He could literally feel Naruto's breath and could not strike Naruto at all. Naruto stopped and looked at Fujisawa. As Naruto rushed Fujisawa, he struck Fujisawa's throat, making him gasp for air. Naruto grabbed Fujisawa by the wrist and flipped him down on his back. Naruto quickly grabbed his opponent's blade and pierced Fujisawa through his hands. Fujisawa yelled "yield" as loud as he could because he did not want to die. As Naruto rose up, the crowd was silent. They could not believe that Fujisawa, last year's runner-up, was defeated in 4 moves. All who placed their bets lost everything, even the bookies. Kabuto smiled at Naruto to say job well done. As Naruto returned to the bench, all combatants' eyes were on him. As the rest of Warriors' number dwindled down, Naruto only had to fight only once since his opponent forfeited before they even stood up. Naruto had thought it would be against Sun, but she was nearly cut to shred by an S-rank criminal known as Shendo the Headhunter. He had a nasty habit of taking people's skulls and using them for trophies, as the rumor went. He was very skilled at many jutsus and no one knew who he was until his first match, when he completely destroyed his opponent with one deadly swipe that left his opponent headless. Sun figured she could take him down and use the bounty on his head with the prize money, but he was too much for her, and the officials had 9 security members jump and stop Shendo from doing the same thing again. The crowd was so disturbed by what he did last time, many started to walk out and the rest booed in protest at that horrible sight. As she was being carried out, she had them stopped by Naruto. "Forfeit, he isn't normal, kid, don't throw your life away on some contest. He's on another level and he is a cold-blooded killer that wants his prey to suffer," said Sung as she grabbed Naruto's wrist. I'm far from normal either, let's see who's better and let's see if he's on my level, said Naruto as he headed to the center of the ring. As Sung looked at Naruto, she never saw that much confidence in one so young. He believed in himself completely and he was brave personified. Good luck, kid, I'm going to watch your match from the sidelines as they patch me up. As Naruto was called to the ring, he looked dead into the eyes of Shendo. He could see the hate in his eyes and the Kyuubi could feel that dark temptation of delight on fighting another demon like himself. As both bowed, Shendo began to laugh. I feel your hatred, but it's useless against me. It's strong, but mine's is stronger. I'm going to collect your head. It will be my most prized collection, the head of an idiot child who challenged a demon. As he waved around that blade of his threateningly, Naruto just smiled. As the referee looked at both of them, he yelled, fight. Shendo quickly swung his blade at Naruto's head. Naruto was barely able to duck in time. Shendo rushed Naruto and punched him so hard blood flew from his mouth. Naruto quickly backed, flipped out of harm's way when he seen that sword coming down to cleave him in half. His bloodlust is increasing dramatically already. He's actually moving quicker and getting stronger. You better do something quick, young cub, said the Kyuubi as he felt the evil emotions flowing from Shendo. As Shendo rushed in again, he landed another blow to Naruto's jaw and a kick to his chest. Naruto paused and took a second to make up a battle plan to slow this madman down. Shendo this time threw the sword and Naruto dodged it, but as he turned around he saw the sword heading straight toward his head like a boomerang. Naruto was able to roll away from getting decapitated, but it cut him across the back. Now Naruto had to worry about him throwing that cleaver of a sword at him and it coming back to cut him in half. As Shendo moved in for the kill, Naruto used the Sarutobi shadow dance and caught his arm and struck at Shendo's rib. Naruto noticed that he hurt his hand more than he hurt Shendo. Then it came to him, Shendo was wearing light body armor, but how was he moving that fast? Naruto quickly kicked a stone and hit Shendo in the leg. As Naruto heard a cling sound, he knew that Shendo was covered in body armor from head to toe. I think you better use your ace in the hole, said the Kyuubi as he gave Naruto advice on how to defeat his enemy. So that's it, that body armor is what's keeping you from harm, but I got something just for that. As Naruto looked at Shendo, he yelled, Shadow Clone Jutsu. About 60 clones surrounded Shendo. He could not believe his eyes. It was unheard of a ninja making that many and not being chakra exhausted. Shendo quickly picked up his sword and started hacking away at all the clones, leaving a puff of smoke in the air. I don't care if you make 8,000 clones, they will meet my sword. I already cut those clones' numbers of yours down by half. What are you going to do now, boy? Yelled Shendo as he was in ecstasy from hacking away the clones. Naruto motioned for his clones to surround Shendo as he tried to hack each one. The clones, they evaded his sword and latched onto Shendo's body, holding on to dear life. That's it? They're just going to hold me? I thought you were a better fighter than that. I'll bust out of their grasp with no problem and kill you slow with my sword. I'm going to enjoy peeling the skin of your frail little body. As he started laughing sinisterly at Naruto. No, I win, you lost, said Naruto as he smiled at Shendo. Shadow Clone Explosion, shouted Naruto at the top of his lungs. As a series of exploding clones detonated all over Shendo's body. He fell down from multiple injuries. His armor could do nothing to help from that kind of blast from all those clones that latched onto his body. As the crowd saw a humongous crater and Shendo laid out in it with his arm missing and both of his legs gone. The whole stadium stood up as if there was electricity in their seat. No one could believe it, a child taking down an S-rank criminal and winning the Steel and Death tournament at the same time. This is something people would be telling their grandchildren about. How a seemingly innocent kid defeated a monster. As Naruto headed back to the bench, Sung smiled and gave him the thumbs up. Kabuto quickly motioned for Naruto to exit the Colosseum. Meet us by the Wall of Serenity in an hour. As Kabuto blended in with the crowd and disappeared. As Naruto gave a nod, the official came and handed Naruto his winning and shook his hand. I am so glad that you won. That monster was nothing more than psychopath that entered for the sole reason to kill for fun. I hope next year you will enter. Since you're still so young, you can only get stronger. As the official smiled and congratulated him once more. As Naruto left the Colosseum, he could still hear the excitement in the spectators' voices about the match. As he walked down to his meeting place, he waited for Kabuto to fulfill his part of the deal. As everyone was gone, Naruto waited patiently for Orochimaru. "Nice fight, Mikado. I knew you could pull it off." As Kabuto approached him non-threateningly. "Where's Orochimaru?" said Naruto as he leaned against the wall. "I'm sorry he couldn't make it, but I will tell him you won the match with flying colors." Kabuto smiled at Naruto to let him know that he was in charge. "Liar, then who is that hiding inside that tree listening to us talking?" said Naruto as he got off the wall. "Oh, he really is an interesting kid. To pick up on me while I'm in my stealth jutsu is very impressive indeed," said the voice coming from the tree. "How long have you known I was there?" "You've been here for 20 minutes now and only moved twice," said Naruto as he watched Orochimaru phase through the tree as if he was a ghost. "No need for this charade any longer." As Orochimaru approached Naruto with a grand smile on his face. "Why are you looking for me?" asked Orochimaru. "Who told you of me? I come to learn from you, all of your jutsu to put my plan into motion." "The one who told me of you was a ninja. I don't know his name, it was only in passing," said Naruto, not wanting to give out his identity to the both of them. "Come now Naruto Uzumaki, you can tell me it was Mizuki. If we are to train together as master and disciple, we shouldn't keep secrets from each other." Orochimaru walked in a circle around Naruto, examining his physical appearance and his calmness, as he knew that Naruto would grow to be a powerful ninja. Naruto was shocked. How could he had known about him? "Don't be surprised, I am from the Leaf Village and you used my old sensei stance Sarutobi shadow dance, which I must say you did at pure perfection. I am curious how long it took you to learn the shadow clone explosion." "Less than 1 week," said Naruto as he remained calm and collective about the situation. "Really? You truly are one of a kind. I wonder if it has something to do with the Kyuubi inside you," said Orochimaru as he took his finger and pressed it against Naruto's arm muscle. "This can't be the kid. He has black hair and dark black eyes? He's not using any dye." Looked at the hair on his arms and eyebrows. "It's not blonde," roared Kabuto because he thought the child in front of him wasn't Naruto. "I'm suspecting the Kyuubi had something to do with it. Naruto? Show me how you did it." Orochimaru couldn't keep from being totally excited about what just fell into his hands. As Naruto looked at the both of them, his facial features and hair returned to what he looked like. As Orochimaru laughed, he looked at Naruto. "I'll train you for 1 year and then you will leave and discover new jutsus on your own for 4 months, then you will return to me. To return the favor of me helping you become stronger, I am putting together a plan for the future and I would like you to help with it. Accept my offer, no questions asked. Do you agree with my terms, Naruto Uzumaki?" said Orochimaru as he held out his hand. "Agreed," said Naruto as he made a deal with the devil. As Naruto headed off with Kabuto and Orochimaru, he knew his plans was far greater than a simple agreement with Orochimaru, and if need be it would be a broken. It had been a long strenuous year for Naruto. He had nearly trained himself to death to reach his goal. Kabuto put Naruto on a strict training regimen and diet with his workout. Naruto's body made drastic changes. He was now more muscular and his height had increased by 4 inches and his hair now reached down to the middle of his back. Kabuto and Orochimaru were so impressed by Naruto and his abilities that he became very essential to their future plans. Orochimaru had put some of the vilest and cruelest ninjas and mercenaries against Naruto and none could overcome his skills and determination in battle. Orochimaru knew that Naruto would be his greatest asset next to Kabuto against the Akatsuki. Although he never told Naruto about the organization that would be after him, he would eventually tell him after they destroyed the Leaf Village together. Kabuto had seen how much Naruto had grown in all of his jutsus, but his arrogance and hatred grew more every passing day. Kabuto was the only ninja that Naruto could spar with and not hold back, but Kabuto knew that Naruto's strength and the power of the Kyuubi was something no mere ninja could match. "So this is Orochimaru's number 2 guy now? I can't believe he chosen him over one of us. He doesn't even have the curse seal, so maybe Orochimaru don't trust him or he's just a weak ninja?" As Tayuya watched Naruto lift the barbells over his head and back to his chest. "Yeah, you don't look so tough. You still have milk on your breath. I bet if you and I would have a little match I would kick your ass all over the place," said Sakin as he got up in Naruto's face. "Yeah, show me these skills that Orochimaru think in time you will be famous for." Naruto just ignored them and smiled an evil grin. Come on, or are you terrified of all four of us standing here? You're just a snot-nosed kid who Orochimaru is taking on a charity case. Naruto threw the barbell down on Kidomaru's foot and quickly punched Tayuya in her midsection and threw a well-placed uppercut to her face as she bent over from the blow to the stomach. He quickly grabbed Sakin by his hair and threw him into the wall, knocking out 3 of his teeth. Kidomaru spit out some webs at Naruto. Naruto quickly evaded and struck him in his Adam's apple. Kidomaru backed up from being hit in his Adam's apple. He recovered and quickly made a spear out of his web from his mouth. He quickly rushed Naruto with the spear he made to impale him for striking him and his teammates. Naruto pulled out his kunai and countered every move he made. You won't be able to hurt me, boy. I coated my body with my webs and you can't penetrate it with a mere kunai. Naruto focused some of the Kyuubi's chakra into his kunai and slashed Kidomaru's body, making him drop to both knees, bleeding from his chest profusely. Naruto grabbed Kidomaru's hair and pulled it back, exposing his throat. As he came down with a forward thrust, his hand was caught by Orochimaru. Now Naruto-kun, what did I tell you? I don't want any blood splattered in my home. You made your point, now let him live. Good ninjas are hard to find and I don't feel like looking for a replacement so soon. As Orochimaru released Naruto's hand. You bastard, I'm a woman. What the fuck, man? You split my lip in 2 and broke my nose and damn near made me throw up my own stomach from that punch. We were just having a little fun with you, no need to be all serious. As Tayuya was helped up by Kabuto as she continued to curse at Naruto. Naruto walked away and grabbed the barbell and continued to work out without saying another word. As the Freaky Five, the name Naruto gave them to be funny, pulled themselves off the floor, they left Orochimaru with his 2 trusted allies. As Orochimaru and Kabuto walked over to Naruto, they could tell that he wasn't in the mood to talk, only training to get stronger was his only motivation. Naruto-kun, it's time for your self-journey to learn new jutsu from other masters and lands. When you return, I will have big plans for your future. As Orochimaru gave a hideous smile at Naruto. I will fulfill my end of the agreement and I will come back here in 4 months' time, but my future is different from your plans. As Naruto kept exercising, ignoring the 2 completely. Why, you arrogant little gnat, how dare you be so rude to your master? Show some respect or I will cut out your tongue and hand it to Orochimaru personally. As Kabuto walked up on Naruto. Relax, Kabuto. As Orochimaru put out his arm to stop his advancement toward Naruto. Naruto, bring back new jutsus and make your master proud. I have one question, this Rasengan, it's so powerful that I believe no man can stand against it. I need to learn it. If I can learn this, I can modify it to be the perfect offensive weapon ever made. As he looked in his hand. I told you to forget about that jutsu. There have only been 2 alive that actually completed that jutsu and many have failed in disgrace on trying to complete it. Now I need you to take these papers and identification, you will need them when you go to other villages. Read them and make sure you know all the false information on it, as Orochimaru handed the papers to Naruto. As Naruto read the papers, his eyes grew in astonishment. What the hell is this? You have me listed as a Konoha ninja and as a genin? I went to the academy with some students there and the teachers, they will never believe that someone with a new name could slip past their attention. Said Naruto with rage beyond belief. Don't worry, you're part of the Leaf from the other academy located in the south of the Fire Country. It only produce about 5 genin every 3 years or so and the trainer is on my payroll. He gave you a background story and false missions just like Kabuto. All you have to do is use this information and you will be fine. Make sure you use the Konoha headband all the time in the villages. As Orochimaru and Kabuto walked away. This could be a good thing, Cub. We will have access to get into the Leaf Village without being suspected of anything. We have improved so much over the last year that I know that Orochimaru can't defeat us. The Kyuubi tried to build up Naruto's abilities compared to Orochimaru. I'm not so sure, and when are you going to stop calling me Cub? When you live to be 200 years old. As the Kyuubi howled in Naruto's mind. As Naruto had all of his basics packed for a 4-month quest to learn more jutsus. He wasn't sad to leave Orochimaru's lair but ecstatic to find strong opponents to test his mettle against. As Naruto started his long journey on foot, he wondered about Hinata and what she looked like now since they were both about to turn 15 soon. Naruto could not understand why he thought of her. Maybe it was those papers that said Konoha that made him reminisce about her. He tried not thinking about it, but the more he said he wouldn't the more he did. Even asking himself if he had stayed would they still be friends. He finally started to train to get her off his mind. Back in the Konoha. Well Hinata, we finally are able to apply for Chunin status, aren't you proud? I mean, we had a rough mission in the Land of Waves but we survived and people are talking about it? Said Sakura as she smiled at her friend. I'm proud, but in these Chunin exams we will face other ninjas that are good if not better, so we have to practice. We have to think like Chunins or otherwise we will fail. Hinata tried to hurry and get away from her friend. Cheer up, we will do great. I seen how you and Sasuke defeated that Haku on the bridge. He surrounded you two in ice and you use your Byakugan to help defeat him. As Sakura just smiled. Thank you Sakura, but I must be off, I need to look into something if you don't mind. As Hinata started to walk away once again from Sakura as she blocked her path. You know you won't find anything new? Naruto is gone. You need to move on, it's not fair you look for him and give up on your social life. There are plenty of young ninjas that are interested in you but you won't give them a chance to get to know you. Said Sakura as she continued to grill Hinata about giving up her life for dead boy no one cares for. Hinata smiled at Sakura and walked away feeling hurt inside her chest from that statement. As Hinata headed to the public ninja mission request office to look at the forms and reports made by the Konoha ninjas, she looked for any information of any type of ninja matching Naruto's description. As she set out all the files she heard someone behind her. Relax, it's just an old Hokage just checking to see how you're doing. Do you mind if I join you? He asked as his smile warmed her heart that was hurting. No, I don't mind. As she looked in his kind eyes and smiled. I see you're still looking, that's good. May I ask, why do you care so much for this young man? He's nearly been gone over 2 years? He would be 14 going on 15 soon, just like you. As the Hokage looked at all the information on the desk with Hinata. Because if it was me and I was missing, I know that he wouldn't give up on me. I feel deep down in my heart that he is alive. I just can't explain it to you. As her eyes darted down. I understand, continue your investigation. I hope you see some results. As he stood up and left the room to leave the young heiress to her thoughts. As Hinata looked through the papers, she read about 10 files and she came to something interesting. An assassin was defeated in an underground tournament. The assassin name was Shindo. He was defeated by the Shadow Clone Explosion and the Shadow Clone Jutsu technique. The one who defeated him was named Saddler. He used many Konoha techniques to battle Shindo. We questioned Shindo, who now is missing an arm and both legs because of his assailant attacks. To where this Saddler might be it, we were not able to come up with any solid leads, but someone might be selling Konoha's secrets. The boy described is about 12 or 13 years old, dark black hair, dark eyes and wearing a mask that covered most of his face. This young man should be considered very dangerous since he defeated an S-class criminal. Hinata stood up, she knew it was Naruto. She remembered that Mizuki said he learned the Shadow Clone Jutsu and there were reports before saying that Naruto was in the Sand Country. For the first time in nearly 2 years she felt relief knowing Naruto might be alive. Now she would go home and practice and look for more information to come next week. A month has passed. As Naruto wandered from village to village fighting for money and learning new jutsu from certain masters, he decided to relax for just a little bit at a bathhouse. As he laid there enjoying himself, he could not think about a care in the world. As he got up to leave, he put on his clothes and started to head out. He decided to head through the back way to get to his hotel quicker. As he turned around the corner, he saw a tall, well-built man in his 50s staring at the women in the bathhouse. Hey you pervert, what the hell are you doing? Get away from there, you depraved freak. As Naruto approached him to take the pervert out. I'm doing my research, so keep it down, Junior. I'm a writer and you're really starting to cause too much noise, and causing unwanted attention is very bad for disrupting my creative thinking. Said the long white hair pervert as he continued to spy on the women in the bathhouse. Whatever, I know a freak when I see one, and believe me, you're a freak in every way and form. Naruto was ready to attack the old goat and take him out. As Naruto approached the perverted older man, the long-haired man pointed his finger to Naruto to tell him to look around. As he did, there were about 20 women with sticks and brooms staring at Naruto. As they swung at Naruto, he tried explaining that he was trying to stop the old pervert from peeping that it was all a misunderstanding. Although he could have hurt the women, but then the villagers would have attacked him for hurting them, plus it looked as if he was peeping with the old man. Get him ladies, one so young shouldn't be as perverted as him, give him a couple of blows for me. As the old pervert made a hand sign and a toad appeared. As he jumped on the summoning toad's back, the toad leapt him to safety. Naruto quickly evaded all the sticks and brooms and ran after that pervert but could not catch up. He decided that he would leave the village after that bizarre incident that took place. As he headed out onto the road, he was warned of danger by bandits by fellow travelers. Naruto didn't care, he needed the workout, so he was looking forward to a little action. As Naruto looked up at the night sky, he wondered just who was that pervert at the bathhouse. He figured he would just let it go and move on to the next village in the morning. As he was half asleep, he was awakened by evil chakra that he sensed through the ground. It was about 26 signatures. As Naruto ran to the chakra signatures at top speed, he could not wait to release his new jutsu he learned on the thieves. As he approached, he saw an older man surrounded by the thieves. Naruto decided to do the old man a favor and get rid of all the bandits. As he walked up to the bandits, he gave them all a stare that backed them off. Well, it seems that you cowards want to rob and kill this old man. Well, it won't happen when I'm here, so either run or feel my power, said Naruto, looking ready to destroy in an instant. You tell them, squirt, show them your stuff. As the old man decided to sit Indian style on the ground and watch the youngster do his thing. As Naruto turned around to see what kind of remark like that came from an old man, his eyes nearly popped out of his head. The old pervert from the bathhouse. What the hell are you doing here? I should kick the shit out of you myself. As Naruto started get even louder as he remembered the events at the village. I would concentrate on the matter at hand. They seem to really be pissed off and want to put you in the grave for interfering in their business. This should be interesting. I haven't seen one of my countrymen from the village in years. Don't disappoint me, squirt, show them the power of Konoha's youth. The old pervert began to yawn and point to his adversaries to let him know they were about to attack. Wait, you're from the Konoha too? Hey you old pervert, just what did you do to piss off all these bandits, and why the hell should I take care of your dirty work? You probably spied on one of their wives. That's probably the reason they want to beat the shit out of you. Naruto wished now he would have let the bandits kill the old pervert. But the bandits weren't going to listen to him now since he made that big speech about feel his power and flee. Eyes front, you idiot, here they come, said the pervert as he pulled a jug of wine out to watch the fight as he drank some sake. As Naruto attacked the bandits with great speed, he was able to disarm many of the bandits within seconds. Naruto noticed that these bandits were very well organized and skilled, as he noticed two would attack with swords and the other two would attack barehanded, hoping to grab him. The old pervert noticed that Naruto was well trained and that it was something so familiar about him, but he couldn't put his finger on it. The old pervert looked at the speed and the tenacity of this boy and thought of the fourth Hokage for some reason. He didn't know why, but it felt as though he was looking at the young boy's exact copy of Minato's skills and determination. As Naruto kept fighting, he was down to 13 bandits defeated, and it seemed that they were pushing themselves to take Naruto out completely. As Naruto defeated the last of the bandits, he looked over at old pervert sitting down drinking. Why, you old decrepit perverted freak, how dare you just sit there and watch me and take care of your dirty work, and even more, how could you blame me for your voyeurism in the village? If I wasn't so tired right now, I would put my foot so far up your ass. As Naruto anger started to rise on how the old pervert just sat there and smiled and kept telling him to shut up. As Naruto blinked, the old pervert quickly jumped up with a spiral whirlwind in his hand and struck the bandit behind him. As the bandit went spinning against the rocks, Naruto looked at the old pervert. Show me that jutsu again, said Naruto as he looked at the old man as he stood there smiling. As the old pervert held out his hand, a wind mixed with chakra started to circling and spinning in the palm of his hands. Naruto stared in amazement. He only knew two people who could perform the jutsu and one was dead. My name is Jiraiya and this technique is called the Rasengan. Naruto finished his sentence and looked at him in awe. Jiraiya looked at Naruto and wondered just how a Chunin would know this technique. So you know this technique? Well, I see you're very skilled, but then again, we Konoha ninjas are the most talented when it comes to the ways of the shinobi. As Jiraiya smiled at Naruto. Can you teach me that jutsu? I heard about how powerful it was, but I had no idea the magnitude of power it holds in one hand. Naruto looked at the bandit smashed against the rocks. I don't think so. This is for Junin of the Leaf, you're just what a Chunin. said Jiraiya looking at Naruto as he got his things together to leave. "I'm a genin." Naruto started feeling really embarrassed on telling the old pervert this. No way can a genin move the way you do. So if you're going to lie about your status, you can get to walking. I got better things to do than be lied to. Naruto grabbed his backpack and reached in his bag and handed Jiraiya his false papers. As Jiraiya looked at the papers, he started to laugh. "So this is why you're so good and can't make chunin. This part of the fire country doesn't need ninjas all like that. You're mostly used for border patrol and security. What is it, 3 genins down there now?" inquired Jiraiya as he began to laugh. "5 now," said Naruto, feeling so ashamed at being considered less than a ninja. "Tell you what, travel with me for a while and I will consider training you to do the Rasengan. It's the least I could do for you taking out these bandits." As Jiraiya began to pack his bags and move away from the outlaws, Naruto thought about it, and he could train with this old pervert and learn a thing or two from him. As Naruto gave a nod to say all right. Question: how did an old pervert like you manage to perform the Rasengan? I mean, you don't act like a ninja should. You're perverted, a drinker, and the way you carry yourself, I would also say you're very whorish with women, said Naruto, looking at him skeptically as if he really wasn't Jiraiya the Toad Mountain Sage. "I'm one of the 3 legendary Sennin of the Leaf. My name brings fear in the strongest ninja. My skills make mountains crumble like paper and women faint at the sight of my greatness. I am the Sage Mountain Toad." Jiraiya bowed down to my awesomeness, as he made a pose showing his muscles off. Naruto could not believe it. Was this really the sensei of the 4th Hokage and rival of Orochimaru? He had always thought that he would be somewhat different than the man standing in front of him. "Alright, pervy sage, just where are we supposed to be heading to?" As Naruto started to rub the back of his head, Jiraiya frowned upon hearing that name, but nonetheless they started to walk toward a safer place away from the scattered bodies of the bandits. "So your name is Mikado Taishin? Funny you don't fit that name at all. It seems you should have been named something else." As the two walked in the dead of the night, Naruto's fate was once again about to change. It had been 3 months that Naruto had trained with Jiraiya. He noticed how different it was than training with Orochimaru. Jiraiya pushed Naruto to his limits and was more patient than Orochimaru ever was. Jiraiya thought Naruto was one of the best pupils he had ever trained. He was so amazed how Naruto took to jutsus like a fish to water. He noticed that Naruto worked on the Rasengan day and night and was close to completing it. As they continued to spar, Naruto noticed that Jiraiya barely had any opening for weakness. It was like fighting some well-organized oil machine than fighting a man. Jiraiya thought Naruto could actually be considered a Junin than a Chunin. "Let's take a break and have a little chat while we have something to eat," said Jiraiya as went to get his backpack to get some food out. "You're getting old, pervy sage. We only been at it for 20 minutes and you're out of breath and want to eat?" As Naruto threw him a towel to wipe off his sweat. "Of course I'm old. Where do you get that stamina of yours? It's impressive as hell." As he dried himself off. "Mikado, I want to talk to you about your anger. I don't know why you have so much anger in you, but you must let it go. You're one hell of a ninja, but I think you should try to look at the world in a different light. Is there anyone that you care about that you want to protect?" said Jiraiya as he talked with compassion. "I have no one, no parents, no friends, and definitely no girlfriend. I have always been an outcast, alone and treated very badly. Why should it stop now? I did care for 4 people, but one betrayed me. I can never forgive him for that. I trusted him more than anyone, and that hurt more than anything in my life, hearing him say those spiteful words about me," said Naruto as he showed true emotion for the first time in over 2 years. "Well, you're strong now and you can make new friends and you can protect your village. You can become an inspiration to others just like you. Become a better man than a ninja. With that you can't go wrong. Just think about it, that's all I'm asking." As Jiraiya walked away eating an apple, he wanted his protege to think about his anger and how to control it. Naruto knew it was time to leave Jiraiya. His hate wasn't as strong as when he was with Orochimaru. Orochimaru brought out Naruto's hate to the fullest. Jiraiya made Naruto feel more than just a weapon of hate. He honestly liked Naruto, and the way they talked seemed like the way a grandfather would talk to his grandson. Jiraiya's presence affected everything that Naruto had planned, and it wasn't going to be executed if he stayed with his mentor. He left a note for Jiraiya saying they would meet again, and the next time they meet he would have the Rasengan. He knew that he only had 4 weeks to return to Orochimaru and that he had to master the Rasengan on his way to the underground hideout. As Naruto packed his bags, he felt a pain of hurt in his heart for just up and leaving. Jiraiya may have been older, but Naruto thought of him as more than a friend, and that brought a genuine smile to his face. As Jiraiya came looking for Mikado, he saw a note by the campsite just lying there. As he read the letter, a frown came upon his face. "Kid, you're a great ninja at such an early age, but your hatred will consume you if you don't fight it. I have faith that you'll overcome anything you set your mind to it." Jiraiya didn't know why he felt this way about a kid he just met, but he knew this kid had great potential for changing the future for the better. As Sasuke talked with Hinata about the information she found on Naruto, Sasuke was very hesitant to believe that Naruto was this saddler that she kept talking about. Sasuke knew that she trained hard for Naruto's sake to one day help bring him back, but like the rest of the village, Sasuke knew that Naruto was in fact dead. As she asked Sasuke to at least look at the information and look beneath what he read. He promised to look at the file but made no promise to search for a dead person. As she left to go talk to Shikamaru, she noticed that she was being followed. "Show yourself," as she tried to sound brave as she could. As they appeared, it was the Anbu as they blocked her way. "You didn't tell anyone about Orochimaru, did you?" said the Anbu in the wolf mask as he approached Hinata. "No," as she turned to look at him. "You're making our job very difficult when you do your independent investigation on Naruto. If he was alive and with Orochimaru, you could put his life in danger. There could be spies or someone who's helping you who could accidentally leak the wrong information out. We talked to the Hokage and we will give you limited information. If we come across someone fitting his description, we will immediately contact you, this we promise," said the Anbu in the hawk mask as he stared at Hinata. "One question, this saddler that was using Konoha's secrets was about 12 or 13 years old. You should find him and you might find Orochimaru and Naruto," said Hinata, standing her ground while stuttering the whole time. "This saddler only made one appearance and he hasn't been seen since the tournament ended. He wore a mask and was described as dark-haired boy, so it can't be Naruto. I know you don't want to hear this, but he may be dead. Only you and the Hokage think otherwise. I promised myself that I would give you 200% to bring back Naruto home to you, but the more I search, the less evidence I find that he's still alive. We're leaving, but we will keep you updated on our progress." As the man in wolf mask gave the signal to leave. As she stood in the middle of the road, she saw Shikamaru approaching. As he came closer, he could tell that Hinata was truly upset. "Hinata-san, what's wrong?" asked Shikamaru as he was lost for words when he seen the hurt look on her face. "Naruto, do you truly believe he's dead? Answer me honestly?" As she turned her back to Shikamaru. "Honestly, the answer is no. He's too stubborn and he will do whatever it takes to stay alive, so don't cry or worry about this. Naruto is a survivor among the strongest survivors. He will always be Naruto no matter what." As he gave Hinata a hug to comfort her fears. As they left together, she decided that once she becomes a Chunin, she would have more access to many more files and she could leave the village a little more freely to search for Naruto. Her new motivation was to become a Chunin no matter what was thrown at her. 4 weeks has passed. As Naruto headed into Orochimaru's lair, he was still kind of upset that he hadn't mastered the Rasengan yet. He practiced the Rasengan his whole trip and still the same results. As he approached the new hideout, he saw Orochimaru coming to welcome him. "Naruto-kun, did you learn any new jutsu to further your skills? I'm eager to see how much you truly improved. I have some mercs, assassin and rogue ninjas to welcome you back home." As Orochimaru motioned Naruto to follow him, he was very enthusiastic to see his second-in-command go against the overwhelming odds he had stacked against him. As Naruto followed Orochimaru, he could not believe that he hadn't even walked through the door good before he had to fight for Orochimaru's entertainment. As he walked into the training hall, he was surrounded by at least 25 fierce-looking warriors he had ever seen. These were unlike any bandits or common want-to-be badass. These warriors were the genuine deal. As Orochimaru walked into the middle of the training hall, he cleared his throat and began to speak. "Whoever can defeat this ninja will be the next to be my side, and those who fail are damned. I salute you as warriors, now make me proud." As Orochimaru slithered away. As Naruto was encircled by enemies, he braced himself for their attacks. As they swiftly attacked Naruto with everything they had, Naruto used every bit of skills to evade and counter every move thrown at him. Naruto knew that if the battle lasted more than 6 minutes he would be dead. Naruto pulled out 2 kunais. He rapidly ran into his assailants, cutting them severely. As he took out only 6, the rest started to use their ninjutsu skills. As he looked, he saw many types of fire jutsus and water jutsus coming toward him. As he dodged them, he could feel fatigue starting to set in. He quickly formed about 50 Shadows clones and had them attack his enemies. As they all looked, they could not believe he formed so many and without being exhausted. As Orochimaru smiled on the outcome, he watched greedily for more chaos from his number 2. Naruto quickly formed a hand sign and a whirl of wind came shooting through his jutsu. As the enemies looked at the wind hitting their other teammates, they watched in horror as it made severely deep cuts like swords in their flesh. As the rest backed up, Naruto grabbed one of the clones and transformed the clone into a giant shuriken. As Naruto yelled out, "Kage Bunshin Shurikens," as he threw the shuriken at the rest of his enemies, they quickly tried to dodge the giant blade when all of a sudden it multiplied by 8,000 and struck the rest of Orochimaru's henchmen down, leaving a bloody mess in the arena. As Kabuto and the Sound 4 along with Kimimaro watched Naruto perform that incredible jutsu, they all were in shock at his presentation that he displayed. Shit, he's gotten a hell of a lot more powerful and meaner in his 4 months away. Hell, if wasn't such a maniac he would be one fucking hottie. As Tayuya looked at Naruto. We better really watch we say to this guy or he will kill us without a second thought. As she conveyed her thoughts in her mind. Bravo, bravo, I knew you wouldn't disappoint me, in no way possible. Naruto-kun, you outdid yourself. Tell me, when did you learn your wind element and who showed you? As Orochimaru smiled at his prospect. Naruto lied and said he learned it from one of the villages he visited. Follow me, we have much to discuss per our agreement. As Naruto followed his sensei, he wondered just what did he have in mind. He never knew of any of his sensei's plan, because he was always kept in the dark. Naruto always wondered about the 5 that followed his sensei as if he was a god. They always gave him the creeps, especially the guy with the 4 arms. Naruto had always thought he was the most disturbing sight ever. As they walked past the creepy 5, that's what Naruto liked to call them. They looked at him with jealousy as he walked side by side with their god of ninjutsu. Naruto-kun, I need you to return to the Leaf Village with Kabuto and enter the Chunin exams. There you will get the weakness of all the Junin and weak points of the exits of the village. You will be joined by my Sound Ninjas and the Sand Ninjas as we attack the Leaf Village, said Orochimaru. What, you want me to return to the village as a Sound Ninja? Said Naruto as he placed his back against the wall. Correction, I want you to return as a Leaf Village shinobi for the Chunin exams. Replied Orochimaru as he smiled at his number 2. Are you serious? The Kyuubi only can change my hair color and my eyes. He can't change my facial features. People can still recognize me, they're not idiots, and I will be surrounded by all my enemies. When you said you would train me, you said nothing about destroying the Leaf Village. I have my very own plans on destroying the Leaf Village and I want it done by my hands. Screamed Naruto as he moved off the wall. You destroy the leaf by yourself? You're good, but do you think you can really defeat the 3rd Hokage now at your stage? You know he's considered a genius in the ninja world? He didn't get to be the Hokage through a popularity contest, he can kill you simple and plain. You're very good, but he's better and he will end your life in a heartbeat. Now I need you to honor your agreement and assist me in destroying our beloved village together. Damn Orochimaru, we may have to kill him? He's interfering in our grander plans of ours. He's weak and aged. He can't defeat us, we are the true pillar of power of the ninja world. Yelled the Kyuubi in Naruto's mindscape. Orochimaru, the fact is that I will be recognized. I have only been gone over 2 years, not 20. They will not be aware of you. Your face is more muscular and you're taller and the whisker marks are gone. All you have to do is keep that long spiky black hair pulled down over your brow and change certain habits you had when you were a kid. Remember, everyone believes that you're dead. Plus I want to see if you can actually pull it off. That's one part of being a ninja, is being a spy and to blend in like a chameleon. One other thing, I need you to evaluate Sasuke Uchiha and his growth of his Sharingan. He is going to be my most prized possession. I want you to make sure he doesn't get himself killed. Kabuto will assist you in this matter. Now I suggest that you do something with your hair and pack your bags, you have 2 days to make it to the Leaf Village. Naruto walked away angry and ready to strike at anyone who got in his way. As he was leaving he bumped into Kabuto with his shoulder and gave him a look with piercing eyes that gave him the chills. As Kabuto walked in he looked at Orochimaru. I'm guessing the way he looked and acting that things didn't go as the way he planned for himself? Do you really think that Naruto is that skilled to go back as a Leaf Village ninja and complete his duties as you told him? I mean he's skilled no doubt, but this is something for a skilled spy. Naruto is my number 2, you're my number 1. The three of us will be able to destroy the Akatsuki with the help of Sasuke's body. When I consume his body and his Sharingan we will be unstoppable, not even the other 4 cages could stand against us. Said Orochimaru as he looked at Kabuto in the eyes. What about Pain? Don't forget about Madara and Itachi Uchiha, they will definitely be a threat. If they knew what you were up to they would probably send the rest of Akatsuki to deal with you, especially hiding a Jinchuriki and training him to be your perfect weapon. Kabuto knew that Naruto's strength would definitely be a great addition to their cause. Naruto and Sasuke are the key to my power and fulfillment of ultimate jutsus. I will never part from my path of great divinity given to me by this world as the god of ninjutsu. Orochimaru smiled, knowing everything is going according to his plans and the world would soon be his. Yo Naruto, did Orochimaru tell you of his plans? We're going to burn the Leaf Village down, this is what you wanted. As Tayuya approached the dark-haired warrior with a smile of perversion on her face. The rest of the group looked at her and just sighed at her flirtatious nature. Ever since Naruto fought her and didn't hold back on her, she had this unsettling feeling of desire for him. Yeah, he told me and I think it sucks. I want to destroy the leaf with these 2 hands. As Naruto held them up to his comrades. I don't want to be some mindless minion that just helped with its destruction while Orochimaru gets all the credit and the villagers won't even know I was there. Naruto was about to walk away when Kimimaro placed his arm in front of him, blocking his way. You're Orochimaru's servant just as we all are. His dreams are your dreams. His will is your will, do you understand that? As Kimimaro looked at Naruto with hate in his eyes. It seems that you assholes just can't stop getting in my way. If you hadn't noticed, I never believed in his dreams or followed him around like a little lost puppy. He and I had a deal and I'm honoring it, so if you don't like the way I'm acting then you can kiss my ass. Orochimaru isn't my god and I don't worship him the way you all do. Now back off, sick boy, before I get pissed off and stomp a mud hole in your ass and walk it dry. Naruto walked away with a serious scowl on his face. While he backed off Kimimaro with just a few words, I didn't think it was possible he put fear into Kimimaro's heart. Kidomaru looked at Naruto as he brushed by all 5. Man, that kid fears no one and he's only getting stronger as the days go by. I feel sorrow for the villagers of the Leaf Village, he's not going to let anyone live. As Jirobo watched the so-called demon of the leaf walk away. It's funny, he was born a child of love and made a monster by the people of his village. His parents wanted him to protect, now the Leaf Village must face what they created. As Naruto walked with Kabuto toward the Konoha gates, Kabuto went over the last-minute details to their mission. Naruto, we are not to engage the 3 sand ninjas known as Gaara, Temari and Kankuro in combat. Even though there are allies, avoid them, especially Gaara, he's a monster inside and out that does nothing but kill. Kabuto continued to walk with Naruto. Inside and out? Wait, Gaara is a Jinchuriki like me? Said Naruto as he looked at Kabuto. Yes, and he can't control his demon as good as you can. Once you get on his radar he will target you for annihilation to satisfy his bloodlust for his demon's thirst. We have information on him. He may be on your level but we're not for sure about the intelligence gathered, it's like a year old, so he may be better or on the same level. As Kabuto kept telling Naruto about Gaara's abilities and his sand siblings. Naruto really didn't care about Gaara or his abilities, only that he was entering the village to help destroy it. As they were only a short distance from the gates, Naruto stopped completely as Kabuto wondered what was wrong with Naruto. I said when I returned that people would know exactly who I was. The villagers would see me as their judgment day for what they've done to a small child. People would be in awe of all my abilities and power. I would show them the power of an Uzumaki. But instead no one will even know who I am when I enter this village. I don't even look like the Naruto who left. I have black hair that covers my face completely. Eye color that isn't mine. Everything is false about me, even my name. As Naruto continued to look down, Kabuto knew that this would not be easy for Naruto, mainly because he wanted to destroy the Leaf Village more than Orochimaru did. As he continued to stare at Naruto, He still could not believe that Naruto looked so different from when he met him 2 years ago. He was dressed in all black, his black hair covered his brow and his eyes were of midnight. He looked nothing like the blonde he met over 2 years ago. As Kabuto looked at Naruto, he raised his head. He noticed that Naruto changed his eye color back to ocean blue. Let something be real about me as I enter my old village. As Naruto grew a stern look as they approached the gate. Kabuto just smiled. He knew that Naruto wanted to have his true eyes looking at their destruction by his hands. As they gave the gatekeepers their identification to enter, they were told to head to the hotel that would host the event. As Naruto looked around, nothing changed at all. The people seemed happier, he thought, due to the fact they thought he was dead. Naruto, when we get to the hotel I need you meet your squad. They're skilled but too enthusiastic about pleasing Orochimaru. Make sure that they don't do anything stupid to jeopardize the mission or you may have to kill them, said Kabuto as he kept pressuring Naruto on his responsibilities as a leader. As they continued to walk, Shikamaru bumped directly into Naruto. Naruto looked directly at Shikamaru and bowed toward him. Sorry, said Naruto. No, it's my fault, sorry about that. Are you candidate for the Chunin exams? Shikamaru just stared for a minute at the dark-haired boy. Sorry, have we met somewhere before? Wait, you must be from the Southern Academy? Well, good luck, I'm running behind and sorry about that hitting you like that. As Shikamaru left Naruto in a hurry. As Naruto looked at Shikamaru run off, he waited to see if he would turn around to see if he recognized him. As he didn't, Naruto figured his disguise worked. If he could fool a classmate that he considered a friend, then he could fool anyone. As they approached the hotel and went in, Kabuto saw Naruto's squad looking bored playing with their swords by the front desk. As Kabuto went to retrieve the duo, Naruto just looked around at the exquisite hotel. As Kabuto got the keys and Naruto's squad, they headed to their designated room for a debriefing. As Naruto told them to introduce themselves, they seemed arrogant in every form and fashion. I'm Kree. I'm 15 and a genjutsu specialist and a weapons expert. The tall girl kept staring at Naruto with disrespect but also with a little lust in her eyes. I'm Kazuki. I am 14 and the medical ninja on this team. As he gave a look of boredom of just being here, Naruto knew that these two were probably going to meet his kunai before the test even began. Kree was tall girl for her age and had red hair with a short haircut and piercing green eyes. She believed in her abilities. Naruto could tell she was too overconfident by her demeanor. Kazuki on the other hand had yellow eyes of a cat, and he had a long ponytail that reached the back of his neck. His hair was white and he seemed to have fangs but they were short. Naruto could not believe that he was a medical ninja looking that way. As Naruto introduced himself, he went over everything that needed to be done for tomorrow. As it was getting dark, Naruto told his squad to head to bed early for they had a big day tomorrow. The next day, as Naruto walked with his new squad, he could tell that they were going to be trouble. All of them did not know how to work together. There was too much of all of them wanting to be solitary ninjas and ditch the others at the first chance they can. Naruto knew that he needed them for cover and they needed him for cover also, so he told them his orders were to be obeyed and they would work as a team. As they nodded in agreement, they came to a scene of 4 ninjas arguing. Naruto saw 2 Konoha ninjas arguing with 2 sand ninjas. It looked like the Konoha ninjas were protecting 3 little kids. Naruto knew all 4 of them. The sand ninjas was Temari and Kankuro and the Konoha ninja Hinata and Sakura. As Naruto stared at Hinata without blinking, he heard someone talking. Take a picture, it'll last longer. As Kree nudged Naruto on the side, Naruto snapped out of his daydream of Hinata. He could not believe how much she turned into such a beautiful young lady. As Kankuro picked up the little boy by one hand, someone threw a rock and hit Kankuro's hand to release the young boy. As Naruto scoped where the rock came from, he noticed Sasuke Uchiha at the top of the tree trying to look cool and heroic. Jerk still hasn't changed after 2 years, trying to get even more fangirls and admirers for his ego. As Naruto gritted his teeth, Naruto noticed an evil chakra that alarmed him. As things looked like it was about to escalate, a red-headed ninja in a sand uniform appeared out of nowhere next to Sasuke. The red-headed boy said something and it seemed that everything calmed down. Naruto noticed it was Gaara. Naruto knew that he had a bloodlust and that he had to make sure he didn't kill Sasuke. As Sasuke kept talking to Gaara, Naruto noticed that Gaara's evil intentions were raising his Jinchuriki chakra, making Naruto wonder if he should intervene. Then Gaara and his sibling turned around and left. Sasuke, you just put yourself and your team in harm's way. You are now being hunted by a killing machine. Naruto thought to himself. Naruto told his squad to follow Sasuke and his squad to see if Gaara would attack them before they get to the very first Chunin exam trial. As they reached the first test exams, Naruto saw some Chunin and Junin using Genjutsu on all of the Genins. As Sasuke and his squad approached, they said something to the Chunin and walked on by. Naruto noticed that a strange-looking genin with bushy brow and bowl cut was following Sasuke's squad. As he caught up, it looked like he was challenging Sasuke to a match. Naruto thought that was stupid. They only had less than 15 minutes to get to the exam and that he was challenging the #1 rookie of the year. Naruto knew that Sasuke would tear Bushy Brow a new butthole, so he decided to give his assessment on Sasuke's abilities against this opponent. As Sasuke rushed his opponent, Bushy Brow easily evaded and kicked Sasuke. Naruto noticed the young ninja was super fast and strong. As Sasuke attacked again, he could not touch his opponent. The Bushy Brow ninja completely overwhelmed Sasuke just by using taijutsu. As Bushy Brow kicked Sasuke in the air and followed him, Naruto noticed it was the end of Sasuke as Bushy Brow's arm wrappings coiled around Sasuke like a python. Then out of nowhere a kunai saved Sasuke from a humiliating defeat. Naruto noticed it was a summoning turtle that appeared and was talking, and then an even stranger-looking ninja than Bushy Brow appeared. He seemed to be the sensei of Bushy Brow. As Hinata and Sakura helped Sasuke to his feet, Naruto told his squad to leave and head to the first exam. That's who Orochimaru wants so badly. Man, he just got his ass handed to him by a ninja who looks like he had a hairy caterpillar on his forehead," said Kree as she began to laugh. Naruto had to agree, but he continued to walk to the exam entrance. As they walked in, he could not believe that so many were taking the Chunin exam. He knew that last year was postponed due to some problem the Konoha had, but he didn't know it was be this many genins. Naruto knew that accessing Sasuke would prove difficult now because everyone would want to test out their abilities against an Uchiha and he would be on guard all the time. As Naruto seen Kabuto, he walked over to talk to him about the situation. Kabuto looked at Naruto and thought the same thing, too many ninjas. As they began to talk quietly amongst themselves, Kabuto pointed out that Sasuke had entered and was with the rest of the rookies from the Konoha. As Kabuto asked Naruto to walk over to the area with the rest of Konoha ninjas, Naruto was reluctant since he was a classmates with all of them. As he walked over with Kabuto, Kabuto introduced them to the rookies. "I'm Kabuto and this is Mikado Tae Shinra of the Southern Academy." As Kabuto smiled at the other genins, Naruto wondered just how Kabuto got into character at the spur of the moment like that. As Kabuto told them how impressed he was with them, he told them how he failed the Chunin 4 times and that Mikado was taking it for the first time and probably make Chunin. As Sasuke asked for tips on taking the exam, Kabuto pulled out a stack of cards that showed everyone's ability in Genjutsu, Taijutsu and Ninjutsu. As Naruto didn't pay any attention to Kabuto any longer, his eyes went directly toward Hinata. He could not believe that someone like her once called him friend. As Hinata felt a gaze upon her, she caught Naruto looking at her. She stopped and stared right back as she caught a glimpse of his blue eyes. "Excuse me," she said, "but do we know each other? I have strangest feeling that I know you." As she tried to take a good look at his eyes. "I came to this village many times before to run errands on some D-rank missions. You may have met me then," said Naruto, looking scared to say anything else to Hinata. As Hinata continued to stare at the dark-haired genin, the rest of the genin looked at the two of them. They were especially looking at Naruto, who was almost fidgeting from nervousness around Hinata. "Love at first sight for the both of you?" said Sakura, smiling and pushing Hinata closer to Naruto as she smiled, tried to make a love connection for the two. Both Naruto and Hinata blushed deeply that Kabuto had to interrupt by saying negative things about the Sound Village to get attention off of Naruto. As the Sound Ninjas overheard the comments, they quickly attacked Kabuto. Naruto was about to attack when Kabuto gave a glance to say no. As Kabuto took the blows and fell down faking being hurt, Ibiki came through the door and confronted the Sound Ninjas from the unprovoked attack. as Ibiki gave a warning that if another attack occurred they would be disqualified from the Chunin exam. As they entered the exam room, Naruto thought that the first exam would be of skills, not a written one. As he was assigned to sit next to Hinata, they both seemed to feel nervous and blushed at each other. As Ibiki gave the rules about cheating more than 3 times would not make Chunin ever. He came up with even more bizarre rules. The whole classroom sat up and protested against such outrageous regulations being thrown at them. After they seen they couldn't do anything, they started the test. Naruto knew that this test was way too advanced and he studied continuously for years on preparing himself to be better than a Junin. As he started to write down the answers he looked at Hinata and she was staring at him. "Who are you? Have we met somewhere before? Why do I feel as though I know? Why won't you look at me in the eyes?" As she kept staring at Naruto, making him sweat. "I never met you before, and the more you talk the Chunin examiners will add on points for cheating, so you have to be quiet and pass the exams." Naruto noticed that the Chunin were marking points for cheating. As the test dwindled down, Ibiki kept coming up with more rules to make the genin nervous and forfeit. As he seen that no one else would budge, he announced that everyone in the room passed. He explained to everyone that the right kind of intelligence from your enemy could mean a successful mission and low risk for casualty. That explained the cheating to make sure that you're good at reconnaissance. As majority of the genin passed the exam, a hyperactive Junin came flying through the window announcing the Forest of Death would be the next exam. As she looked at all the genin in disgust. As Naruto walked out of the exam, he was stopped by Sakura, who gave him a barrage of questions for Hinata's would-be suitor. "What's up with you and Hinata? I see you can't take your eyes off her for 1 minute, and I noticed the same with her. Do you think she's pretty? Maybe you should get to know her better." Sakura just looked at the dark-haired ninja in front of her. As she kept asking question after question, Naruto had remembered that he once had a crush on the pink-haired girl in front of him and how mean she truly was to him. He thought she would be the first to feel the tip of his kunai. He remembered her abusive words along with her fist usually coming toward his jaw. As he looked at this annoying shinobi, he wondered what it would take to get rid of her.